Hello and welcome to the Lyrical Analysis Podcast. My name is Amo Panasar. I'm joined by the Metal Elder, aka my Father Christmas, Sat Panasar.
Ho, ho, ho!
My very good pal, the Tempest, aka Stuart Wilkie.
Merry Christmas, babes.
Mr. Sensitive, Dimitri Johnston.
Hey, how we doing?
And the calmest man alive, Ryan Willis.
How's it snowing?
Now, listeners, I'm sure you're all thinking, what the hell is this Lyrical Analysis Podcast malarkey? Well, let me tell you. I felt for the longest time there's an epidemic in music where if the beat of a song is good, people completely forget about the words they're actually listening to. And I'm no saint, I'm very much guilty of this from time to time myself, so I thought it'd be a good idea to go through and analyse the lyrics of some of the world's most popular artists and try and decipher exactly what message they're conveying. We'll be giving out honest opinions and you may agree or disagree with us, but that's all part of the fun. The artist we'll be covering this week is Kendrick Lamar. So, Stuart and Ryan and Dimitri have been waiting a long time for this because we've been criticising rappers quite a bunch on this podcast, so it's about
Oh,
time.
you mean I have?
Well, I mean,
It's mainly been sacrificed.
mainly dad, but
Jolly old Saint Nick.
That's the French in disguise!
Removed his beard.
but Stuart has professed on numerous episodes that despite the rappers we've covered having their flaws, this is one rapper that will be the saving grace of
One
the
of
hip-hop
many.
genre. All right,
One of many.
but the most likely for me in particular.
Yes, and also for popularity's sake, like he is literally like what we were discussing before, probably top 3 rappers right now of this generation.
Easily top 3.
Yeah.
And when we say this generation, we're talking like what, the past 7, 8, 10 years?
Yeah, it's got to be him, Drake, or J. Cole, really.
Yeah.
And there's probably others that we're probably missing out on.
There's definitely others, but Kendrick is just
different level.
undebatable.
Well, going to Stuart, this is like, because I'm quite a popular culture person, this is like a major blank spot in my popular culture knowledge.
You've literally been
So-
quoting DNA for years and didn't realise.
Oh yeah, I say I got all the time, but I've never known where it's from. But like thanks to this podcast, now I know. So
How do you... Anyway,
do you want to get straight into it? Do you know how to give your like brief history of how you got into old Kendrick?
I want to get straight into it.
Okay, fair enough. All right, you guys can give context to this. So we're going in. I think Dimitri, you provided the set list for this episode. So
It was a combined effort.
we're going in chronological order.
I think we are.
Yeah.
So we're starting with High Power, and debut single, I believe.
He's probably had like mixtapes prior to this, but yeah, a debut album single, I believe.
Okay,
I
so
believe it's actually pronounced Hi Po.
okay.
You know what? Kendrick's watching this like, yeah, you got it.
You got it, he nailed it.
Ryan wants
The
to add
only
some,
one.
Nice inflection, Ryan. Very good.
Ryan wants to add some Christmas jingle cheer to the freaking title. Okay, so it's been given great acclaim for its lyricism and depth. So I put on my notes ... We shall see.
Yes.
So.
Passive aggressive. Jesus Christ.
Well, I did that before I got into the lyrics, and to be fair, I think out of all the songs you've listed, guys, this is the best one.
Interesting.
Yeah.
This is the best.
I think so.
It is one of his earliest.
Yeah. So High Power is described as, for those who don't know, as a movement. It's a response to the ever-increasing destructive nature of culture in the US, mainstream and hip-hop culture. I thought this was quite interesting. I found this online. Kendrick claimed to have had a dream where Tupac told him to keep doing what you're doing and don't let my music die. So yeah, this is kind of going into those sort of topics.
It's funny that you mentioned that in, I think it was To Pimp a Butterfly, the album.
To Pimp a Butterfly.
Great album. That
Gotta give it
dream
that,
you're
that's a good
talking about, he actually references it in the end of each song. It's like, I had a dream, and then he talks about his little bit with Tupac, and then after every song he expands upon it a bit more, and then the whole conversation is really good.
Is that I Had a Dream bit in like Martin Luther King's style? Or
No, not really.
Okay, fair enough.
It's just like, I had a dream, this happened, then the next song is, I had a dream, this happened,
okay,
and then
right.
that and that and that. It's a story at the end of each song.
Okay, cool.
It's really good.
The reason I mentioned Martin Luther King is because... Oh, sorry, go on, Stuart.
I was just going. He does that with a lot of his albums. They're quite good themes. Like, they all seem to like link in together.
Yeah,
very well.
he's a wordsmith. He tells a great story and everything.
Speaking of Martin Luther King, heavily mentioned, I think, all the civil rights movements, individuals from both sides of the spectrum of peaceful to more
Militant.
violent and militant.
Yeah.
So let's just get straight into it. So first verse. Visions of Martin Luther staring at me. Malcolm X put a hex on my future. Someone catch me. I'm falling victim to a revolutionary song, the Serengeti's clone. So I'll stop it right there. Malcolm X put a hex on my future. Someone catch me. Do you want to...
A hex or a X?
Hex, H-E-X.
I know, it's X.
So yeah, visions of Martin Luther King staring at me. Malcolm X put a hex on my future. Someone catch me. I'm falling victim to a revolutionary song, the Serengeti's clone. Yeah, the hex on my future part, I
Is that
don't
like
really...
a curse?
It's
Well,
a curse,
yeah.
but
It's probably
Why?
referring to the fact that Malcolm X, despite the fact that he is a very influential figure in history, unfortunately, he has negative connotations as well, and unfortunately, that kind of stems
Yeah.
through history. Essentially, there's a lot of people that get called militant because of Malcolm X, and
Yeah.
it does have its negative connotations. So
okay,
unfortunately,
that's
some people can't. They don't even get to get a word out before.
Without-
they-
Well, because some
it doesn't fit in
historians,
that.
because I did this back in school, some historians thought that without Malcolm X's portion of the movement, it would have not.
Oh no, it wouldn't
You
be
wouldn't
that.
know,
You need
yeah.
both
Yeah.
sides. Yeah.
But it's interesting, he says it put a hex on my future in a negative
Yeah.
sort of way.
It's not so much negative, but when you think about the contrast between Martin Luther and Malcolm X, a lot of historians or just a lot of cultures will prefer Martin over Malcolm because Malcolm's more like fuck you for fucking us, and Martin's just like yo, turn the other cheek.
Yeah,
So
he's more democratic, I think.
yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. Although when you listen to his stuff at the end of his life, it's kind of like nah, fuck him too.
Yeah, yeah, he got a big bit near the end.
I mean,
It's
when he
okay.
says
Makes
visions
sense.
of Martin Luther staring at me, it's kind of like, yo, there's a responsibility there. And you've already defined what high power is. So when you come up with the Malcolm X putting a hex on my future, it's like, I have a responsibility and I'm pissed off just like him and people are going to see me that way. You know? He can't approach it any other way because he's conscious of it. So it's like, it is what it is.
That is something
Very
he has
good.
to deal with. He doesn't have a choice in the matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dad, anything?
And the high power, the three eyes, from what I read, represent heart, respect, and honour. That's what the I stands for, apparently, in this big LA movement.
Ah.
So it's about no matter what's going on, carry on, keep your dignity, carry yourself in this manner so it doesn't faze you. Overcoming it and still having self-respect.
Very good.
Which is really interesting. So Kendrick's got this going through...
Dad's being slightly positive about a rapper,
Hang
guys.
on a minute. He's got it going through
We need a
a
jingle
lot of
for
the
that.
songs. But it descends into Gunman and bees and peas and all these kind of words.
In fairness, you have to understand he is from like Compton, LA, which is like prime gang territory. That's literally like where Crips and Bloods like originate from. Do you know what I mean?
I was going to say shout out to Compton, but I'm not from there.
no.
Okay, back to the lyrics.
Yeah.
I hate to be that guy, but heart, respect, and honour don't begin with eyes.
Hey,
Does it even make sense?
does it even start with the letter of the...
But
So,
It's not as catchy, that one.
that's what my little bit of research came up with.
Alright, so back to the lyrics and back to a back-themed metaphor, analogy of some sort. So back to put you backstabbers back on your spinal bone. You slid down slid your disc when I slid you my disc. You wanted to disc but jumped on my dick. A grown man should never bite their tongue unless you eating pussy that smell like it's a stale plum. So, like, now...
It's not even complicated.
Do you wanna see my...
You know what I mean?
No.
Talking about civil rights movement, Black Panther,
But he's also advocating, you know,
and he's
cunnilingus, which I
bringing
rate, to
in
be
all...
honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want... Let me give you my 2 cents on this. So, obviously, this is going to sound really weird, but
Go for it.
I think this might be modern day chivalry at its finest.
Yeah.
No, hear me out, Dad, because my, like...
Pause. I feel like there was another song or artist who referenced eating out, and you were just like, yes.
Maybe there's a common theme with my analysis here, but...
Own it.
But, like, I mean... You know, if the girl's pussy smells like a stale plum and you don't say anything and you stay on the task at hand, is that not modern day chivalry at its finest? I'm just throwing it out there.
no.
I'm just like on the...
Ammo.
It's
If it
perseverance.
smells like a
Bit
stale
of a
plum,
stretch.
she's got some sort of infection. You should tell her, get her to get checked out. Like,
Or you
It-
just walk away.
Look.
I think that's a clear enough sign. You just get up.
Look, that would be my approach,
Yeah.
Ryan. But from what Kendrick is saying here, he's still just going at the job at hand and not denying
well,
his
no,
own
what
pleasure.
he's doing is biting his tongue, possibly making himself bleed, exposing himself to that infection. Very
I have got
dangerous
here.
move.
Like, my first thought was, this is my thought process. Would you bite your tongue here? That was the first thing. Then obviously I realised what the hell was going on.
Crying.
Also, him biting his tongue, isn't that stopping him doing the act?
Maybe he's like trying to get the scent of his irony blood going to his like nostrils as opposed to the plum pussy.
He takes it serious.
Also, what does a stale plum actually smell like? I've not had a stale plum.
I imagine it's quite sweet,
Right.
which would definitely be an
it'd be
issue.
sweet.
Yeah.
If it smells
She's
right,
definitely-
what?
So is sweet
Definitely.
ripeness a sign of an STI?
Can we
yeah, like-
overripe? It would be overripe, wouldn't it?
Maybe.
Any
Can we
sign
just
of
check?
sweetness.
Do children listen to this
I
show?
was about to say,
Okay, because if we're gonna get into this, I just need to know that like certain people in my life aren't watching this.
This is explicit on the podcast.
Okay, because if I go deep in this, I'm going deep in this.
Well, but
I'm
if
not
it's on YouTube, anyone can
What
watch
you
it.
got?
Talk about the rightness.
I mean, damn it.
Don't budge your time.
Yeah.
I'd rather focus on the civil rights aspect.
That's
myself.
fair enough. That's fair.
That's just me. That's just me.
Because I knew you were gonna like come out this bloody P's and B's again. I'm like, you know what? In this instance, there is some good.
I think it's a bit of a
intentions
stretch,
there.
Emma. I think you're.
I think I'm right.
Part for all the family. It's good family entertainment.
Merry Christmas.
All right, next bit. So I got my finger on the motherfucking pistol, aiming it at the pig. Charlotte's Web is gonna miss you. My issue wasn't televised, and you ain't gonna tell the wives how to stay on beat because your life's an instrumental. This is physical and mental. I won't sugarcoat it. You'll die from diabetes if these other N-words wrote it. The Charlotte's Web bit was a really interesting reference that I did not expect.
Yep.
But very good. I thought this line was brilliant. So this is physical and mental. I won't sugarcoat it. You'll die from diabetes if these other N-words wrote it. That is
That's brilliant.
good bars right there.
It's not the sugar
more
that gives you
included.
diabetes.
Do you? You're right. That's good to know. What'd you say, Dad?
I said it's not the sugar that gives you diabetes. It's the fat in your cells that blocks the insulin
Yeah, but
receptors.
the sugar can
Vegan,
form
yeah.
fat.
Oh, that's too much for me, Ryan.
I can see my
It is the fat. Yeah.
Right, and then the last line of the opening verse is, I'd be off the slave ship, building pyramids, writing my own hieroglyphs. Now he repeats this at the end of each of the verses, and I think that's very strong imagery. So I quite
Hey,
like
let's
that.
just go back to the pistol. So he's aiming it at a policeman, is
But
he?
that, like, in the current state in America, like, I'm not gonna give him docking points for that.
I was gonna say it is pretty much
It's
like.
quite normal for people to just go aiming.
Well, no,
Look
no,
how many
no,
black people have died because of police brutality.
That's the thing. It's literally like
It's like
yeah.
Hong Kong over there.
Hey, I've still not played Overwatch, you know. Like, it's
No,
really,
either.
it's
No.
really annoying. Yeah, because of the whole Hong Kong
Boycott
situation.
Blizzard.
Oh yes.
So boycott
Oh
Blizzard.
my gosh, Blizzard went in, but let's not get into that.
Yeah. So
It's like- different
we
podcast.
may have acted a bit hastily, but look at my LGBT tag. It's like, no, what?
Anyway, lyrics. So, yeah, I'm not going to docking points for that because of how horrific the police stuff is in America right now. There's no... I'm not docking points, basically.
No, and like he said, he's not going to sugarcoat it. Like
Yeah.
he's going to be very
Remember
blunt
that
with
he's
it.
not starting with a lot of points from you. So points from
So,
Okay, we'll go over that one.
the
then.
chorus,
Go.
I'm not really going to mention that much. He mentions Huey Newton, who's a Black Panther co-founder. But besides that, nothing really more to talk about there. The next verse, I have to say there's not as many talking points, but still solid, unless you've got something in the next verse down here.
In the next.
So you've got it blank
verse,
as well, haven't you? Have you got anything you want to talk about?
Yeah. Just see if
just go for it,
anything.
man.
No, I've got nothing because I think there's
So-
a lot to be talked about here, lyrics-wise or to comment on. Have you got anything you want to talk about in this bit here? From visions of Martin Luther King staring at me to build your own pyramids bit?
I mean, sorry, mama, I can't turn the other cheek. They want to knock me off the edge like a fucking widow's peak.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
So who's knocking him off the edge?
just the system as a whole. Again, you're telling
They
them to
wanna
turn the other
see you
cheek,
win.
which is something that Martin Luther King was a big advocate for. Just like roll with it, we will persevere. But like you said, he's being Malcolm. He's not taking that shit. You know?
So I'm trying to find the right balance between the two, you know, very influential figures. Because it's all well and good saying turn the other cheek and, you know, be the better man, be the bigger man, etc. But sometimes you need necessary force. Essentially.
Even Mandela said you need the arm struggle.
That's it. I mean,
At times.
that's it. Like history is kind of written by the victors. A lot of people deemed Nelson Mandela a terrorist up until he was
That's
released
right.
from
Oh,
prison.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So-
I've got a wicked Mandela impression, but I'm not going to do it on this podcast. I'll show you off camera.
Fair enough, not.
You've seen it, it's
I
great. Right, I'm going to skip ahead to, I think it's verse number 3. Who said a black man in the Illuminati? Last time I checked, that was.
Oh, sorry, Emma. There was one
Every
line.
time.
Yeah.
Sorry, Emma. I'm standing on a field full of landmines, doing the moonwalk, hoping I blow up in time.
That's just
So he's doing a Michael Jackson kind of.
suicidal walk.
It's also kind of like a connotation of like, in order to get famous, a lot of people tend to feel like they need to dance for certain people.
Oh, that's
That
good.
makes sense.
That's good. That's good.
And even more literal, there is this whole superstition in the hip hop and just overall black community about any celebrity who's really made it big in the music industry has sold their soul. So when we look
Speaking of that,
at no, Jay-Z, Kanye, they've spoken about it themselves. Kanye for a long time, even his music videos would be associated to Satanism and his idea of being a god.
that was a good time on YouTube, man.
It was.
Yeah.
Let me get to this. So, who said a black man in the Illuminati? I've got here Jay-Z. Remember the old YouTube rabbit holes he used to go down because the algorithm was tuned to you just going down conspiracy theory stuff, and a lot of it was this sort of stuff about Jay-Z, Beyonce videos, Rihanna videos, all being attuned to satanic worshipping and being in the Illuminati and stuff like that. I thought it was very, very cool to get into as a Illuminati.
When did the song come out?
Huh?
When did the song come out?
2011 was it?
Something like that. It would have been early.
Yeah.
Because this is around time I was at uni, and then this was all the Illuminati shit on YouTube was massive. So yeah, I spent a lot of time going into that, man. Anyway,
I said 2012 there.
There you go, 2012.
Might be. Yeah.
was it? Because that's because 2012 might be. So was it 2011?
No, I was just thinking because Michael Jackson. So I'm like, was he dead at that time?
Yeah, he was not.
Yeah, I think so.
Definitely dead.
Okay, moving on. Last time I checked, that was the biggest racist party. Last time I checked, we was racing with Marcus Garvey, another very famous civil rights figure. On the freeway to Africa till I wreck my Audi, and I want everybody to view my autopsy so you can see exactly where the government had shot me. No conspiracy. My fate is inevitable. I've got here, still poignant even today. Anything else before I move on?
No.
Okay.
You covered it.
Enough to drive a man. Oh, this is quite cool.
Ooh.
So, no conspiracy, my fate is inevitable. They played musical chairs once I'm on that pedestal. Frightening, so fucking frightening, enough to drive a man insane. A woman insane, the reason Lauryn Hill don't sing, or Kurt Cobain. I thought that was an absolute fire bar, to be
You
fair.
forgot the last.
It was Lauryn Hill.
Lauryn Hill, she's
Oh, dear, Sat.
I didn't know about her until today. Do you want to go?
No, it was just the last part of the line, loaded the clip. And
Oh, I thought you were like
Oh.
shitting on Daff, not like.
I can't go into that. She's.
Yeah.
So basically, Lauryn Hill, I didn't know about it until today. She left the music industry because of being dissatisfied and was suffering with the pressures of fame, and I'm sure various other shit that I don't know about.
I
Never heard of it.
more for her music.
heard of the
Alright.
Fugees?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen to The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. It's her, literally her album.
It's a magnum opus.
It's the best. It's still charting up there with Beyonce's stuff years later.
Tremendous.
You will love it.
You actually will.
Even though I'm a heavy metal man.
You will love it. You will love it. Oh my gosh, feminism.
Yeah.
Oh, right, something positive.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was good, and we see another Nirvana reference in another song coming up. So that's kind of it for me on that. Fred Hampton, again, the chairman of the Illinois Black Panthers in the final verse, but I think that's a very solid first.
So
song
he's
choice.
got pull your guns and play me. Let's set it off. Cause a riot. Throw a Molotov. So is he saying that there should be an uprising?
No, it's more like a challenge. Like, you are going to do this to me. I'm fully prepared. Again, Malcolm X. If they arm themselves, we should arm ourselves as well in self-defense, sort of thing. And also, it could be just a shout out to not just the system but other rappers. It's like, you're coming for me, trying to be the best. Not so much in a literal sense, but
I'm ready for you.
I'm ready to be the best in this industry. So are you, because that's the thing about a rapper. It's ego. You have to believe you can be the best.
Yeah, yeah.
Kanye and Jay-Z are friends, but they both are aiming to be the best, so they will do diss tracks to challenge each other.
It's one of the reasons why I enjoy the genre so much, because it's the only music genre that I can generally say is like a competition. Because you might get like rock bands saying, "Oh yeah, well the Rolling Stones, they're shit," and X word. you might see like banter and like them calling people out, but it's not the same. Like you don't have diss tracks in rock and roll. You don't have diss tracks in R&B.
You don't have people threatening to kill each other.
Well, it doesn't even
And
necessarily
actually doing it, I guess, with Tupac and stuff.
Well,
I mean,
that's a whole
completely
that's a whole
different
other
thing.
that's a can of worms right there.
To be devil's advocate in terms of Dad's opinion, like,
Yeah.
Does it have to be a metaphor like this always?
No, not necessarily, but there are many songs in his albums where he does a different metaphor.
True, but again, I can see where Dad's coming from with this, for sure.
But if you think about it, it does meet the themes of what's been going on.
Yeah,
And it's also
you're
very
right, you're
intrinsic for America. Let's be honest. Like the entire point of the Second Amendment, isn't it, that you have the right to bear arms, and the reason why is so that they can take over a tyrannical government if they have to. So it's literally written in their constitution. It's how they were bred.
And he's not gonna sugarcoat it.
Anarchy.
Yeah.
Basically, it's not going to work. I mean, if they wanted to overthrow Trump, they've got drones and shit. Do you really think you with a pistol is going to overthrow the White House? It ain't going to happen.
Let's move on. So
I've got. Well, anyway.
no, go on.
I could understand in the Malcolm X days where you would want to take up a bit of an armed struggle because you're struggling to get black people into schools, universities, army institutions. So, is it still the same where you have to do it that way?
In certain occasions, yeah, because I mean, I've literally seen people being murdered in cold blood on videos via like police brutality and stuff.
That's what I was going to make. So 2011, 2012, would you say this was almost the height of when the police brutality was?
No.
Or was it later?
No.
Because my memory from years is
Black
rubbish.
Lives Matter was only a couple of
Oh,
years
of course
ago.
it was 17, I think.
Yes, but no. It's been around for a while. It's only just getting more traction. Obviously,
It's
because
because of social media.
But to know that a couple of years ago it was still bad, but I don't know when the height was in terms of like I've not seen the stats over the years of the last decade, so I'm not sure whether what the stats were now compared to 2 years ago when Black Lives Matter really started to get traction.
No, that's a very good point. I would consider it like domestic abuse. Yes, someone has reported, yes, I've been domestically abused by my husband for how many years, but how many years did they not speak about it? How many people were aware of it? Despite the family and friends that saw it, okay, now it's out there and the neighbourhood knows, but everyone else has been going on way
statistics
longer.
can be
It's just now we're
interpreted.
talking about
True
it,
that,
and
true
the
that.
talking is social media.
Very good point. So next song, very solid first song
So,
choice.
hang on now, but the last line, Thug Life.
Thug Life. That's a Tupac
What's
reference.
this? Is that Tupac reference?
Life. Yeah, that.
Oh, okay. I just thought it was a very strange kind of, lyric to end on.
Listen to the song, it sounds good at the end.
I was expecting something inspirational from Malcolm X or Martin Luther or something like that.
That's cool, man.
We got Thug Life. Ending this song, high power.
Alright,
Anyway,
song.
that's just.
Alright,
that's
song
just
number
me.
two, ADHD. So first verse, fuck that 8 doobies to the face, fuck that 12 bottles in the case, N-word, fuck that, 2 pills and a half, wait, N-word, fuck that, got a high tolerance when your age don't exist.
I know you're obviously reading it because it's just like lyrics, but it just
Fuck
sounds
that.
weird when you don't say
I take it, a doobie is a joint.
Sorry, I'm doing it verbatim.
it doesn't sound right.
No.
Fuck that.
Fuck that. Yeah, got a high tolerance when your age don't exist. I put a question mark besides that for some conversation of what the hell that means.
When you're young, you don't really consider your age when you're doing illegal stuff with like drinking and drugs. It's
you
like
are
I'm ageless. I'm invincible.
Do you?
Yeah, man. When I was in uni, I was
you
drinking
can drink
bottles
half a
of
bottle
wine.
of whiskey.
I was careful. I started off on alco pops on my first house parties and worked my way
I
up
got
gradually.
drunk off of that shit quick.
I know.
Off of those
I gave you a
numbers, boy.
sip of wine when you were quite young.
Yeah, but then I spat it out through my nose. I think I sneezed that back up. That fucking revolted, moldy ass grape juice.
And I was saying, what does wine taste like, Dad?
Oh.
And I thought, well, should I take the mystique out of it, or should I
would
say,
be
no,
like the
you mustn't drink
French.
till you're 18? So I thought, oh, let him have a sip. Do it the French way.
The French way.
Wait, was Ammo like, achoo! That's horrible. I think you were like, actually, yeah, it is horrible.
I don't know how we do it.
But
He's
then
never drunk wine since.
And then the same thing happened with beer, which explains why I'm a cocktails man.
I don't like beer. I don't like beer either.
You have to
Anyway.
like beer.
Yeah,
You have
teach
to learn
yourself.
to like it.
I'm not doing that. Ever.
It's too late. I'm a rum guy.
Yeah.
So we're going with that. That's fine. That's good meaning. I've got nothing for the second verse here until later on. So any for the first few lines? Anyone got anything? Dad, you do?
Well, I've got here listlessness of a generation strung out on convenience. When I read what the song was about, so it's about 80s babies and use of drugs to avoid thought, desire to fit in, belief that bad decisions do not have consequences. So it seems like if you're born in the 80s, and I don't know if I remember, is it your parents were on drugs or something or other? You brought up in a drug culture. Then
You don't even necessarily have to be born into a drug culture. I mean, like
It's all around you in this project.
it's even in like the corporate like white collar world, everybody's on cocaine and
True.
I mean marijuana's legal now, so it's very much. He doesn't necessarily. He's obviously speaking from his perspective, obviously being an '80s child himself.
Yeah.
But like even somebody in the '90s and even I suppose 2000s a bit too late now because earliest you'd be 19, oldest you'd be 19 years of age. But yeah, you're still in that environment where drugs are almost very like easily accessible and a very easy way for you to just sort of escape.
There's some historical context towards this. Remind me, in the song, is Ronald Reagan ever mentioned or referenced at all?
Probably.
Because there's a thing in America in the 80s where certain black families or people growing up in the projects, the poor neighborhoods, that it was a bit of a conspiracy, but it was also proven to an extent.
It's definitely happened.
There was a time when Reagan he either flooded drugs into those communities to test them out on the black people, or it was the parents at the time during pregnancies, they would give them crack as well as immunizations that the next generation they all had ADHD or a high percentage more than anyone else. That's why 80s baby were all meant to have ADHD, so you would have kids in this generation doing drugs.
There was also that whole thing with where in the 50s where LSD was first being experimented, and that's basically opened up like how human beings think. We never used to like think like existentially as well as we did until like somebody decided to trip on acid, and then the game changed. Everybody.
And now DMT's a thing, so now we're apparently talking to aliens who are in the fucking universe.
I'm down for that as long as they're friendly.
Hey, look, guys, all you have to do is meditate. Natural high. You don't need
Dad, have you heard this DMT stuff? With DMT, apparently everyone has the same hallucination, so everyone. This is why it's like a shared consciousness where you go to a different universe and you meet the same beings and everyone has the same like weird imagery and they all like come out and say the exact same thing. So it's like it's a weird shared consciousness. So it's a thing that we've not explored scientifically yet.
Yeah.
So Joe Rogan does it a lot. I know you died, Joe Rogan. But
I heard who have near-death experiences, they produce DMT right before they die.
Really?
And those that come back, it's like, I saw God. That's why people like, does God exist, or is it all just like,
that whole near-death experience?
Yeah.
I heard about this one kid who got a brain injury like when he was young, and he lost his colour vision, so he only saw in black and white.
That's cool.
But then he did LSD when he was like in college, and it flicked over something in his brain, and he got his colour vision back.
what? That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's cool as hell.
Totally anecdotal though. It's a story from Reddit.
No.
Alright, I'm gonna move on to
I don't see colour.
let's go to here. So I'm gonna go to Man No Wonder Our Lives Is Caught Up. So if anyone's got anything from before that.
Oh, sorry, right.
So have you got anything before that, Dad?
Nothing really. It's just marijuana endorphins make you stronger.
Yeah, that's.
So the drugs make you stronger.
Well, it's just like the idea that essentially to take the pain away for a lot of people. Essentially, like marijuana is very much used as sort of like a anti-anxiety drug for a lot of people. So, say for example, if you just can't cope with the average day to day. More often than not, a lot of people will just say, screw it, I'll just roll the joint and then, escape and just be in a blissful ignorance almost.
It doesn't make you stronger.
No, but it's just the connotation, isn't it? It's that you can,
but that's
strong.
a temporary escape.
Yeah, essentially,
The drugs don't work. They just make you worse.
They make you worse.
Alright, I'm gonna move on to the next one. So Man No Wonder Our Lives is caught up in the daily superstition that the world is about to end. Who gives a fuck? We never do listen. Unless it comes with an 808, a melody and some hose, PlayStation and some drank, technology bumping soul. I disagree here because I think even with all those things, there is still people will not listen, and I think this stuff is making us more surface level and it's reducing our depth.
He's being ironic.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm reading this like just...
Yeah. Man,
very
no
dead,
wonder our lives are caught up in a daily superstition.
Oh,
It's
fair
like we're so drugged up we don't actually take notice of what's around us and really reflect.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Alright, then I changed that too. I agree.
Unless there's PlayStation, hose and drinks. It's like,
Oh, I see what he's doing. Okay, cool. Perfect. Yeah.
Basic bitches.
Goodbye. Now I'm with you, Kendrick. Come on.
Because I was going to say, we are living in relative times of peace. We've had the longest sort of peacetime, relatively speaking. I know we got terrorists, we got Syria and all this kind of stuff, but relatively speaking, life is a lot better now than it was, say, 50
undoubtedly.
years ago or so.
But it also comes to it has its own sort of can of worms. Essentially, it's got its own problems.
We can't get
new
complacent.
problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's got the digital era
Well,
problems and stuff.
That's the thing. Like, how many people can you imagine that now are just in almost a vegetative state because life is almost too easy?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's
You don't even have to
generally-
think with your smartphones.
Yeah, I mean,
You don't have to remember anything.
Yeah,
I can't
exactly.
do maths anymore.
It sounds funny. I used to be really good at maths, but yeah, I have to use my phone now or a calculator. I have to. I'm out of shot.
Well, Elon Musk says that we're like at the moment essentially cyborgs now. Every human is, because we've got the phone is an extension of our being.
Yeah,
And that the phone itself,
It's a limb now to me.
it makes us superhuman.
Yeah.
Because without it, we'd be nothing.
Oh,
But if you think
No,
about
yeah,
it,
if there's an
compared to a
EMP,
normal,
Has he seen Bear Grylls?
yeah.
how was the adventure trail? You can come piss.
No.
Is that what you do?
I did it afterwards.
Ah, okay, nice. Classic Sunday night for Ryan. Wait, you drank something though, didn't you?
Oh dear. Where's this going?
Alright,
This is a
anyway.
biochemist. Did you analyse yourself,
Did you
Ryan?
centrifuge your own piss? In your
Yes.
There's no point because it hasn't got different layers.
Alright, anyway, next line I've got is like, she black too, purple label on her back,
We
but
missed
that...
the first, yes,
that-
the president is black.
Oh, sorry, yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah.
But this is the bit I don't get, the purple label on her back, but that... What's that?
Purple label. I think it's talking about alcohol. She black too. Purple label is usually something on a. I think is it whiskey? I'm not
I don't
too
know.
sure about that.
I was
maybe,
confused. Bloody hell, Dad, ruining
Sorry.
my goddamn
Wait, what's
audio.
It's not Hennessy. It was the freaking
40s?
Yeah, 40 maybe.
Yeah, that's not purple label.
No.
But the purple label usually indicates a higher quality alcohol.
Yeah, like Black Label is definitely whiskey.
Yeah.
It's Johnny Walker, isn't it?
Cool. Anything else?
Or maybe Purple Label might generally be like a prescription. Maybe it's a certain like Percocet.
It's
or
not a
something,
person.
I
Is
couldn't
what
find
we're
anything.
getting at. Yeah. Yep, the president is black. She black too. Purple label on her back, but that dap is light blue. She take it straight to the head. Then she look at me. She got ADHD.
Dad, anything?
No, I mean, I was listening to the lyrics and yeah, it was.
This one would be a very difficult song for you to relate to.
Yeah,
Obviously,
I couldn't
you
really
are,
make
like,
head or tail of it, really.
I mean, obviously you've had alcohol, but I can't imagine you've had like a stint of alcoholism in your life, have you?
I couldn't even go past 3 pints.
And that's fair enough. And that's not that. This isn't like us judging you because you are like
A lightweight.
living, you know. Or, lightweight. But yeah, you also have to understand that there's a lot of people that will delve into alcohol. They will delve into drugs. They will delve into
Self-medicate.
essentially, yeah, to tolerate the pain. Essentially,
Hey,
of
yeah,
everyday
you know,
life.
because the world of Compton, it's not something I've experienced or
exactly.
can't
I
even
love that.
relate to.
The
I don't
world
even.
of Compton.
It sounds like a mini planet. I want to
The
go.
world of Compton.
I think the nearest.
That makes it like a theme park. The world of Compton.
Everyone's got their guns out.
Yeah, red or blue, pick your side.
Probably the
Let's
bit-
go, 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 go!
Yeah, I was going to say probably the nearest I came to was when I went to LA on business, and we had this massive white Buick or something or other. 3 of us on business in our suits and everything, and we got lost. And we ended up the Rodney King riots.
Oh God.
What?
I don't know how we ended up, but somehow we ended up in that kind of area.
What, like South Central kind of? Like,
Sorry, during the riot.
No, not during.
That's what I was gonna say. How did that happen?
Shit.
It wasn't the mid.
Time
It
machine,
probably
bro.
wasn't too far off.
Yeah.
Because it was in the mid-90s. This was.
Oh, was it the right time for it as well?
Sorry?
Was that the right time for
Sorry, I
it?
took the wrong
think
turn.
so.
And then Rodney King was there. Oh.
We didn't have
You're
satellite
okay.
navigation systems
Yeah,
in those
true.
days. We had to think.
A to Z screws you up.
Yeah, and I saw a little bit of that kind of world, you know.
Yeah.
People.
We had to think and you were like, shit, we better get out of here.
Yeah. It
Is
was
your
kind
life just like Forrest Gump? Background of all these historical events.
Yeah, I can tell you a few stories. Yeah.
Alright, I'll get to the next verse.
Anyway, yes.
I'll read this whole thing out. So, and then she started feeling herself like no one else in this apartment. Beg you pardon, oh, I rap baby, how old are you? She said 22, I say 23, okay, then we all crack babies. Damn, why you say that? She said, where my drink at? I'ma tell you later, just tell your neighbours, have the police relax. I stood up, shut the blinds, closed the screen, jumbotron, made it to the back. where she reside. Then she said, read between the lines, yep, hope that I get close enough when the lights turn down, and the fact that she just might open up when the new flow starts to drown. Her body and I know the both of us really deep in the move now. It's nothing we can do now. Somebody walked in with a pound of that Bay Area kush. She looked at me, then looked at it, then she grabbed it and then said, get it understood. Did she just take the kush and then bounce? Is this what that's saying? Because I don't know what the hell. Like, it's a
I'm
very
totally
weird.
lost.
I was lost here.
Well, in the beginning you had me.
He's met a girl.
Yeah.
She's asked where her drink's at. I mean, get me a drink. So like, he went with her to get a drink, and then she saw this weed that some guy brought in, and then seemingly she just took the weed. I'm like,
or take
what?
as in
Are
taking
they not in an
actual-
apartment?
I don't know where the fuck they are, bro.
Yeah, they are.
I feel like they're at a
Yeah, I
house
feel like,
party.
I feel like they're like in a
Yeah.
environment where there's a lot
And
of
what's a
people all together.
jumbotron?
It's a
It's a
big,
big
Box off
screen.
screen.
So yeah.
Oh, is it?
you know, in stadiums and like.
Oh, right.
You get like
okay,
kiss cam
okay.
and shit in American sports and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
get the couples to kiss.
Yeah, so
that's what the jumbo
Oh,
was
right,
like.
right. Okay.
So I was fucking lost there.
I assumed they were in an apartment, they were at a house party, they asked each other's age, they're like, oh, we're both born in the 80s, cool. They both start drinking, and then they're about to go down on each other, and then someone walks in the room with like weed or some shit. I don't know.
Alright, cool. Thanks for clearing that up, guys. And
I'm
that's,
assuming, what are you saying?
Yeah.
that's all I got for
And
that.
she's easily
I-
distracted.
I
She's got
can't like that they
ADHD.
talk-
No, the theme of ADHD is, you know, it's told very well throughout the song. So well, that I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
So-
yeah, I would say that. I'd say that it is much easier to have a conversation with somebody when you're intoxicated or inebriated in some capacity.
So hang on, if you're sort of spaced out with taking drugs and to numb the pain, how can you have ADHD? Then it's kind of like the opposite end of the spectrum.
Isn't that to numb the ADHD?
Yeah, you're
That's why
using
it's
it
taken
to
the
You pay attention to everything.
yeah.
Otherwise, they'd just
overanalyze
be
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not even
overthinking.
just hyperactive
That-
as well.
yeah.
So it's like, yeah, let's calm ourselves down with weed and alcohol.
Why do you have alcohol? Why do there's alcoholics out there? They dull the pain of life, and
Oh, yeah,
with
yeah,
ADHD
yeah.
it is a painful existence at times.
That's the dream.
Well, you know, one day, Ryan. One day, very, very soon, Mr. Diabetes. Captain Diabetes! So, next song. Sing About Me, I'm Dying of... I can say that because you're my best mate. So, Sing About Me.
This is the longest song.
Yeah.
And
You
it's
know,
That's because it's two songs in one.
Yeah, it is.
Dad, you
It
take
is.
away from
It
this.
is
12,
perfect.
12 minutes long.
You take it away, Dad. Sing
Oh.
About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst.
So I think the first section is about Lamar's friend Dave, who got shot. And then the second part is the perspective of his the real life sister of a prostitute,
Okay.
Keisha.
Keisha.
With a hashtag $sign.
Yeah, I was going to say, is it?
And his sister really chastised him for revealing Keisha's intimate details.
Okay.
And
Brenda's got
yeah,
a
the
baby.
second half, I'm Dying of Thirst, is also about his opting out of this hazardous life. So that's the kind of summary that I've got.
Yeah.
Religion as well factors into it heavily.
Well, I've said the song is very literal.
Yeah.
And there's not much to analyse or read into here.
No, that's
So if you want to go for, you go for it, because I went through it and thought, yep, he's saying exactly what he means. There's no subtext or anything. So,
I was gonna sing it then. You want to?
so go on, fans, have at which bits you want to talk about or give props to.
Well, one thing that I obviously quite like, because I can't relate obviously to gang violence and basically chatting.
I don't know, mate, in your ends.
But like I can't relate to that kind of thing. But I also think that it has a deeper meaning when it comes to actually like the meaning of death. For example, you never know how your death is going to be responded to. Like you want to believe that you're going to be sung about. You want to believe that going to be praised. When you've passed on, but you generally don't know. And the idea is promise that you will sing about me. It's like you say, it is very literal. But I quite enjoy that. That's a universal fear. I think if people don't say, "Oh, I don't care about death," I think they're lying to themselves. I think nobody wants to die really.
No.
And people would like them to be remembered at least in some positive way by at least one person.
Also,
Even
how
if
do you
you're
want to
the
be
biggest
remembered?
asshole on the
Yeah,
planet,
yeah.
you still want somebody to know that you weren't that
You
well
rang?
inclined. Yeah.
Ryan's funeral, no one says anything.
You want to be like, you want
None
to
of you
know.
invited.
You want to know that you've, your existence has meant something.
Yeah.
That You want people to remember the fact that you did exist as opposed to leave literally nothing behind in terms of legacy. So, yeah. How do you want to be remembered?
And he literally says, "My main concern, promise that you will sing about me."
Yeah, and even though this song isn't like cryptic or metaphorical or anything, it's just telling a story, and not just that, but the story from a perspective you wouldn't know yourself unless you would actually actively get into this shit.
And it's very reflective of himself. Like he's willing to admit that he has been in the past that sort of like misogynistic prick that would be like, look at that, Brenda's got a baby, you know, he's talking about a teenager basically having pregnancy, and then realizing, oh wait, me saying that those horrible things about somebody affects that person, that's going to completely derail them, and that they now have an image in their public limelight that's a negative one because of it, and he essentially apologizes and realizes that he's made a mistake by making this song about it.
Good growth by Kendrick.
Yeah. It's reflective, and he's very, very insightful in the sense that he knows that when he knows he's problematic, but he also knows that he's learning on a day-to-day basis.
Was the second album?
The first album.
First
Second, Good Kid, Mad City, second album.
Probably my favourite.
It's what really put him on.
Yes.
I mean,
Progression.
like the chorus itself, when the lights shut off and it's my turn to settle down, my main concern, promise that you will sing about me. And he just keeps on going back and forth. And obviously when the lights turn off, he's talking about like just the world going black, you know, like the light in your eyes, everything.
Was that entire album more self-reflective? Because the first one, based on two songs that we've seen, seemed to be more political, whereas this seems a lot more self-reflective.
Kendrick has always been a mix of both. I mean, if you know a bit about Kendrick's background, he grew up in that sort of area, but he actively stayed away from the gang shit. He tried to. Which song was it where he was talking about people getting out of the hood and he was afraid he wouldn't actually make it? I'm trying to remember what it was, but it's a really good song. I would recommend this album to anyone.
Yes.
It's pretty good.
Top album.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Anything else, fans? Ryan?
Well, I do have a final point.
Oh, go on then.
With all story-based songs, I just feel like this one's missing out on sort of like a summary at the end where it's the ghost of a mariner and he's really telling people like, don't do this.
You
Save it, but it's in there.
Is it?
It's in there.
Where?
I
read that bit.
It's I'm dying
They're wedding
first.
guests.
The following one. The whole point of I'm dying first is it's his grandma telling him you need to get baptized. You need the waters of Jesus. You are dying of
You're
thirst.
dying of thirst.
Yes, it's a phrase they will tell to like young kids. Like you need Jesus. You are dying for his holy waters. You need to actually give yourself to him and get baptized.
Yeah, because the person he's speaking to is basically like saying, "Oh, I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of like." He's basically just come from a situation where like I think maybe his friend has just died and like he was just been shot, so he's literally seeking the help of an elder essentially.
In that case, 11 out of 10.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Kendrick foresaw you coming, right? He's like, fuck this kid.
Have you noticed Ryan's podcasting voice is the same as it's like, I'm making a good point and sarcastic prick. When he's on the podcast, it's exactly the same. So now he can start off saying something. I'm like, oh, you're being a sarky prick, and then you actually made a valid point for the first time in like 3 episodes.
If that helps.
It's the whole Mariner thing. I thought, oh, he's being a twat with Iron Maiden shit. But you brought it back. I'm like, wow, Ryan, you're full of surprises, lad. Right.
It's entirely accidental.
Okay, cool. Anything else? Or?
Yeah, but I'd like to say there's a lot to uncover because it's quite
a mammoth track.
Yeah.
Just the last parts.
I don't know where you start. It's like
Lord
3,
God,
4
I
sides
praise you a
long.
sinner. They actually do a prayer in this.
Hang on, Dimitri.
Maiden podcast.
Gonna go there, Dimitri? You got one more?
No, I'm just thinking aloud. Yeah. My best days, I stress days. Lord forgive me for all the things I not know. Say fuck the world, my sex slave. Money, pussy, and greed was my next crave. Whatever it is. No, it's my next grave. He's talking.
So
about...
saying that that's what it was, but now he's not like that.
Not necessarily for him, but
okay, go on.
Yeah, he's just talking in general in terms of these are the things that are tempting most young people or people he knows in his.
So I'm just seeing a lot of growth. I'm seeing, you hate this word, but more wokeness in terms of
Yeah.
I mean, not being funny,
the cultural paradigm and whatnot.
It might not be to Sat's earshot, but like money, pussy, and greed is basically like just
what everyone focuses
culture
on.
is. It's like how much money do you have, how much capital gain do you have, and are you getting laid? That's literally what society is drilling you towards, and unfortunately, it can corrupt people in the wrong way.
Yeah, and he's even actively saying, whatever this next vice is, I know it's my next grave.
Yeah.
Which is why he's turning to God like, save me, drown me in this, I'm dying first.
Also, I know you got the issues with like the word bitch and whatnot, but what's wrong with pussy? You said B's and P's. Is there an issue with? Saying pussy.
I thought with the P it was pimp or something. You didn't like that.
Oh
It's actually
no, it was the.
Is the bitches, the hoes, and the pussies?
It's just the whole women thing, you know. That's
it's
all.
great.
I think pussy's fine to say.
No, it's a vegan thing.
All
It's
right,
misusing an animal's
Actually, the B
Had
word
this
is
discussion.
right.
Oh yeah,
true,
both.
Oh
You
yeah.
female dog, you.
There's a song about that. Have you heard it? The vegan one.
No.
Oh,
You
God.
have you heard the vegan
No,
one?
no, I
the
want
rap
to hear it
one.
now.
Is
Yeah.
it a national anthem?
Have you heard it?
Yeah.
Is it a rap song you've liked?
Hashtag
Oh, it was
vegan.
very clever. the guy who was doing it in his car.
He was singing it in his car.
Singing-
Oh yes,
he did
yes,
the
I
video
know that
in
one.
the car.
Yeah, it's a good song. It's a
No
good
pause, no
song.
clause, no.
Yeah.
I'm alright.
so it's a geese.
We'll check this afterwards.
Yeah.
Alright.
He's good.
Next song?
We'll do him next.
Swimming pools.
One of my faves.
Greatest song, Ryan. Sing it. Go.
What?
Just alley oop
Right.
and he flopped.
Can we try this, please?
You made a reference to this song.
Yeah, you did.
So, sing?
Dance, puppet, dance.
Alright, can we actually try this,
I'm still
please?
trying to remember that animal.
So who's gonna do? Ryan, do you want to do drink?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So anyone else doing drink?
I don't know the song.
I
did it.
He's right there.
Yeah, but you go, but I don't know the rhythm.
Alright.
Pour up,
Drank.
headshot,
Drank.
sit down,
Drank.
stand up,
Drank.
pass out,
Drank.
wake up,
Drank.
faded,
Drank.
faded.
Drank.
Sounds like some had a great night.
Everybody.
If anyone's wondering, this song is literally just about getting drunk, having a good time, and alcoholism.
Yeah,
It's great.
But also,
Alright.
it's literally having that inner monologue in your head. It's like, all right, you better calm the fuck down right now.
You tell himself you're fine, but no, you're not.
You know, you are on a level, and if you don't slow yourself down,
Love
you're
this
going to
song.
end up in a swimming pool of liquor.
I pinpointed the first verse, the first half of the first verse, amazing line. So now I done grew up around some people living life in
Life in
black and balls. Granddaddy had the golden flask backstroke every day in Chicago. Golden flask backstroke is a fucking clever as hell line, man. That is so clever. So props for that to Kendrick. That was really cool. I really enjoyed
that
that.
was a good line. I'll
Um,
give him that. I'll give him that.
And yeah, some people want to kill their sorrows, dull the senses. I
You
get
have to
that.
sing, bro. I'm
I
sorry.
don't know. I've heard this song twice.
It's in
If
your
I remember
soul now.
the video, it's got like a family table and everyone's wasted.
Yeah.
There's bottles everywhere. There's children. It's
Really?
pretty horrific scene.
I think the video I saw was just like him and all black
yeah,
or something.
Yeah, it's basically just, I don't know which one you've seen.
Maybe there are other videos or
They
something.
got mold into one. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe a family made like a
Their own
montage
version.
to it.
Maybe.
I would.
like family
I just
album.
need to have a bigger family. Start popping out kids.
Get the football team ready.
Yeah, man.
I'll say the next bit of the verse because I'm
Have I
sure
got
there'll be.
anything on here.
I'm sure there'll be topics to talk about from this. So some people want to fit in with the popular. That was my problem. I was in the dark, right? Do you want to do it?
Looking to make a vow soon. I can't really read on this angle.
That,
Then I'm gonna get fucked up, filling up my cup. I see the crowd mood changing by the minute, and the record on repeat. Took a sip, then another sip, then somebody said to me.
Stop.
yeah. Yeah. I think I remember Kendrick talking about this in an interview that he was just describing his first incident with actually drinking at a party, and obviously peer pressure and all that stuff. So yeah.
I'll say I like that first line. Some people want to fit in with the popular. That was my problem. How many people like via peer pressure do dumb shit at their first house
And you remember
parties?
the first time you drank, like socially? I'm wondering if I might have been a bit stressed because it was a small house party. You know, JP.
I didn't know JP.
We were like 17. I don't know why his parents were cool. Just have like 10 people come to his house, bring alcohol, all underage, and just
Nice.
drink.
Shout out JP's
Yeah,
parents.
man. The one rule is you have to actually do an introductory 2 minutes to introduce yourself to his parents because they don't want strangers in his house.
Ah, that's like sort of your
Hey.
ritual.
Except with me, it's about half an hour.
Hey, let's find out a bit about you. Have some vegan snacks. Should we get some vegan pizzas in? Alright, next bit.
So,
Okay.
so he's really saying
the chorus.
you get a swimming pool of liquor and the girls will flock in.
Yes, but no. I think he's saying it from the perspective of, you know, those friends that are like, nah, man, keep drinking. I'll guide you. And it's just like, oh, it's just a little bit. No, it's a fucking swimming pool.
Yeah,
It's like the next bit where it's got N-word, why you babysitting, only 2 or 3 shots.
that's the chorus.
That's,
Yeah.
that's just
That's
the,
his friend.
Yeah, that's that bad
Peer
influence.
pressure,
I put
peer
it
pressure,
bad
yeah.
influence right
Yeah.
there. Tut tut tut. But how many? I think everyone's been that guy at one point when you.
Oh,
get
I've
stupid,
definitely been that
like-
guy. You have to
Even
stop
at uni?
at uni. You
Yeah.
have to stop after
Yeah.
uni because otherwise you're just that creepy guy
Yeah,
trying to get everyone drunk.
That's it.
Especially if you're a guy trying to get a girl drunk. Not intentionally,
Oh,
but
no, yeah.
you know if it's your
It's
friends
just
like,
weird.
here's some drinks. It's like, no, you can't do that
Yeah.
anymore, bro.
It's a big thing in the Indian culture. You know, you go to any weddings and you're not drinking enough.
Yeah.
The drinking police will be on
Yes.
you. Come on, what are you?
Shout out to Hindu and Sikh weddings are the best. The
I was
best.
literally about to say when I went
It's
to
most
Polish
blurry,
wedding,
let me
it's
tell you.
generally just hit vodka shot. Oh, you done that one? Okay, let's get another one now.
Well, there's no eighth of a gill. It's kind of glug.
Yeah, get that barrel in.
Why aren't you drinking? What?
That's it. What's wrong with you? It's very much sort of like intrinsic to be like, you are wrong if you're not drinking.
If you say, I don't drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on. You can have one. You can have one. Can't you?
I went to Poland with a guy who literally didn't drink, and he got so wasted.
Look, here's my token. I'm 600 days sober. Come on!
600 grams of rubbish.
I used to be an alcoholic. Nah, you'll be alright.
But I'm trying to get to 666. Alright, the chorus bit, the line I like the best is all the girls want to play Baywatch. That's fucking good as well. So running towards alcohol.
Yeah, as soon
like
as
that.
someone
And
got by,
diving into the swimming pool.
Yeah.
drink.
So
Great.
that's really good. What's next? Okay, I like this whole
Yes,
verse.
the inner monologue
So-
is probably my favourite bit. And
This
I also,
is-
I do want to point out that like Kendrick, one of my favourite things that Kendrick does is he tends to adopt different voices for different characters. Like he has like emotional Kendrick, he has like inner monologue Kendrick, he has like angry Kendrick. You know, it's very similar to sort of like
It's like
Eminem.
4 Lions where it's
Very
like,
much.
can I buy some bleach, please?
Like Eminem was like famed for it as well. Like he had very like angry like gratuitous Eminem, but he also had sort of
High squeaky voice versions, yeah.
You know, he also did his like goofy, typical white guy voice. So oh yeah, I'm Eminem. Like that. So yeah, he kind of he borrows from that.
That's cool.
Think of Little Dicky and the Brain. Like,
yeah.
He will have 5 different voices like that in a song.
Yes.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Right, I'm gonna read this out because it is great. Okay, now open your mind up and listen to me,
You getting the
Kendrick.
weird voice.
I am your conscience, and if you don't hear me, you will be history, Kendrick.
No brains voice.
Oh shit! Yes.
Yeah.
I remember
What do you want?
I want
Another
the voice Kendrick does.
and I'm hoping to lead you to victory, Kendrick.
Hang on.
That you're not
You know the rhythm, so
Yeah.
you're gonna read this. Go from okay, please.
Okay.
Hey.
Now open your mind and listen to me, Kendrick. I am your conscience, and if you don't hear me, then you will be history, Kendrick. I know that you're nauseous right now, and I'm hoping to lead you to victory, Kendrick. If I take another one down, I'm a drown in my poison, abuse my limit. I think I'm a villain.
You know, pause.
I see the
This
love
is
in
why
the
I'm
eyes.
doing
I see
this
the
in my
freedom
voice.
is given just-
Because the whole idea for listeners, they're gonna hear what the lyrics are.
Great.
Let me
It's
read-
not the beat of a song.
Let me do.
It's the beat.
Let me do my BBC News. Oh, BBC News reader. Go on, Ryan. Bum, 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 bum.
Dun dun dun. Okay. Now open your mind up and listen to me, Kendrick. I'm your conscience. If you do not hear me, then you will be history.
I didn't realize Siri was on the podcast.
I know that you're nauseous right now, and I'm hoping to lead you to victory, Kendrick. If I take another one down, I'm gonna drown in some poison, abusing my limit. I think that I'm feeling the vibe. I see the love in her eyes.
Get that love drunk.
I see the feeling. The freedom is granted. As soon as the damage of vodka arrives.
Can we stop?
This, how you capitalize.
Alright, pause there.
Yeah.
You know what that feeling's like? It's like when I don't play any on pro clubs. Like I'm not constantly doing something. That was really weird. Anyway, that is an amazing verse. Like that's perfect. That's the best singular verse that Kendrick has done.
Yeah.
But have I ruined
From
it?
2 different.
No, which is a testament to you.
The listeners let us know. Oh, it's fair. Millennials are switched up at this point.
Oh,
With
yeah,
short
yeah.
attention span, so you just like
true.
I'll see where the,
And the 80s
drop off
kids.
is.
Yeah.
With their
God-
ADHD.
Goddamn.
Actually,
Boomers
sound like
too.
a child in this. It's great.
Who's listening?
Goddamn boomers, millennials, and all sorts. Dad, anything you wanna add? Oh shit, I got one thing. Sorry.
No.
I know that you're nauseous right now and are hoping to lead you to your victory, Kendrick. If I take another one down, I'm drowned in some poison.
But he
Use my-
switches his voice.
Sudden-
At that point.
He
So-
switches his voice. He's literally having a conversation.
Sorry.
Go
It's
for it.
the if I take another one down, I'm drowned in some poison, abuse my limit, and then it switches to I think that I'm feeling the vibe. So I've just said
So
the sudden switch there.
It's so quick.
Is that when you reach that point?
It's hit him now finally.
Yeah. When now when you've gone from like tipsy to drank, is that what's happened?
It's almost like he convinced his brain, like, oh yeah, I don't care. Like,
Okay.
he literally, I think I'm feeling the vibe now.
His brain's convinced his body. So after the lead you to victory, Kendrick. This is when Kendrick comes back and like, I'm abusing my limit, I can't do it. I'm feeling the vibe. She likes me. His freedom's great.
Yeah.
Alcohol. And it's, no, you're dead, bro.
I just think that's human nature in two lines.
It
You know what I
really
mean?
is.
That's
It really is.
Very
This
good.
sounds like 17-year-old me drinking.
Oh, I'm gonna throw up, but one more shot. I'm feeling great now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
And and much like in Star Wars,
In
there's
my
always
head.
a bigger fish. In the next line, I'm over influenced by what you were doing. I thought I was doing the most, and then somebody said to me, "There's always a bigger alcoholic in the pie.
Yeah.
There's always somebody that's more fucked up than you. Every single time. Every time, somebody takes it too far.
One chopper, 100 shots. Bang.
By the way, I don't know what
Bang.
my drunk Dimitri voice was. Michael Jackson from South Park. Blanky.
Wait, you're drunk? What?
I was doing your drunk voice, what I interpreted as your drunk voice, and it came out as Michael Jackson from South Park. So whatever that says about our relationship, I don't know.
You're
So
usually drunker than me, but you're probably right to be fair.
you sound like Michael Jackson from South Park.
I don't really get what I'm drunk.
Yeah.
It's ignorant.
Ignorant, thank you. Alright,
So is his conscience telling him, don't drink so much?
before he then got drank and started feeling the vibe, then it just switched to like,
It's
I
like,
don't care.
I don't
I'm
care.
not listening to you.
His
conscience.
inhibitions have completely gone because of the alcohol that he's already taken.
yeah.
yeah.
He's made that choice, that conscious decision, and then he's too far. He's too far gone.
I am your conscience. Drink.
Yeah.
Drink.
Alright, so
It's kind of like the bit in Family Guy. It's like smoke. Are you smoking yet? Clearly, no one's watched Family Guy. It's fine. It's
been a while.
I'm not gonna lie, the cutaway gags, not my cup of tea, bro.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I'm big on that Trey side here, on that big Family Guy versus South Park argument that's been going on for about 10 years.
Why can't you just enjoy both?
I can't.
He has to
Zoom
take
into
a
my
side.
face there as I stare you down.
Thing is though,
Things can be enjoyed.
thing is though, I try
you can
to
like things.
I try to enjoy Family Guy, but then I compare it annoyingly to Rick and Morty and South Park. I think how shit it is.
Family Guy's crap now.
Apart from, I've always said this,
But
Stewie and Brian episodes on their own are
Okay.
fantastic. Everything else, apart from maybe the murder mystery episode, is shit.
I like the murder mystery one.
I said apart from that, that's good. Like, but then the rest have been pretty shit compared to the other animated shows out there. Anyway, I'm gonna skip it to I Ride You Ride Bang, 1 chopper 100 shots bang.
Yes.
Hop Out Do You Bang, 2 chopper 200 shots bang. I Ride You, You Ride Bang. 1 chopper 100 shots bang. Hop Out Do You Bang, 2 chopper 200 shots bang. What the fuck's a
Unnecessary.
What
chopper?
on earth is this?
I think-
I can't make head or tail of
I
this.
think at this point, and I could easily be wrong, but this is the point where you're drinking, your friends convince you to do some stupid shit,
Yeah.
and you go along with it. This is gang shit.
Yeah, this is also part.
Oh,
like-
outdoing stuff.
Yeah, well, this is the thing, because it's part. This is Good Kid, Mad City, and as I said, the album is very much of a story. This song literally precedes another one where he's literally saying he's drunk and doing crazy shit with his friends. It's like, what's he say now? Until I'm with the homies. What's he say?
Until I'm with them.
Yeah.
Yes.
He literally says like, I'm
He's
literally
smart.
well behaved. I'm smart until I'm with the homies. It's
Yeah.
literally like I do stupid shit because I'm almost like convinced to do it because I'm in this environment. This song almost like just leads into that
Yeah.
essentially. So that's the reason why that's the case. It doesn't necessarily add to the song. I will admit
No,
it's a
it's-
little bit out of place, but
It's
it is
to the whole album, not to the specific song.
It does add to a theme. So I
Would you
will
say
just
that
say that. Yeah.
the bangs are, you know, when they film drunk people,
Mm.
like they're from the perspective of the drunk person, and they do quick flashes from one thing to another, where you get like a blackout period when you're drunk.
Bang.
Would you say that's kind of like the bang?
Maybe so.
Or is it a shotgun?
Maybe.
I was gonna say.
Is it a gun?
Hop out, do you bang?
Bang.
When someone says do you bang, do you gang bang?
Mm.
Are you
Oh,
up
God.
top?
Yeah,
Are
that's
you
definitely
affiliated?
because I Ride You Ride. That's like the ride or die
Yeah.
mentality
Yeah,
of like
yeah, yeah.
gangs and shit.
Hop out, do you bang? 2 choppers. I don't know if
Because a
chopper's
chopper, to me, do you remember Stuart?
chopper's,
do you remember Crush
isn't
Hour?
it?
No, but do you remember Crush Hour?
Mm.
When the WWE Crush Hour, so it's like the wrestlers,
Yeah.
but in cars and shit.
Chopper's
Yeah,
the
Chopper
bike
was
as
the
well.
bikes,
Yeah.
yeah. So is that?
I mean, it could
So,
be.
The
Mini
chopper
Spencer
was the
Chopper bikes.
ultimate bicycle back in the
Yeah.
70s.
Yeah,
The
the
chopper, if you had a
Harley
chopper bike,
Yeah.
is it one of those? Is it?
Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
Harley-
yeah,
like
yeah,
Harley
yeah.
vibe.
So is that? But I don't recall like
No.
gangs having choppers.
they wouldn't be
Maybe
riding
not.
around on bicycles.
GTA San Andreas.
True.
I would have a chopper though.
You know, a push bike with
What's
a
that called?
shotgun.
What was it called? What? Shit, what was it called? The
I don't know,
chopper.
we'll
There's a
just ask
famous
Kendrick.
chopper name in
At some point,
San
when this
Andreas.
is really up there, we'll bring them
We'll
up.
have to bring you in.
I
Yeah.
remember
Like,
whenever
just
I
have them
was-
with headphones on throughout the whole thing, and then it's like, all right, now explain it.
Talk to me.
I remember whenever like I got nicked one of those bikes in GTA San Andreas, it was always on like the country western channel, and it was
Yeah.
all my exes live in Texas. I enjoyed that.
They need to do a remake of that game. That would bring everyone.
What, San Andreas?
Yeah, man.
It was the best.
It was the best.
Yeah,
It is.
It is the GOAT of GTA games for sure.
Yeah, man.
Okay, should we move on to King Kunta?
So we've got I on the next one here.
Yes. Sorry, we can switch to King Kunta.
Is there I?
Yeah.
I haven't got that.
I?
Was that the one that we were deciding?
We do
whether
not
or
have
was
I.
it-
I haven't got I.
Wasn't that a special shout out?
No, I think it was.
It wasn't on the final list.
I wanted to do I because that was the one I thought that Sat would really like. So that's just
Take it away, go
No,
on.
I think it was
Fine.
V's Walls. V's Walls were the one that we swapped for King Kunta. It was
Yeah.
between the two. You don't have V's. You've got.
If we haven't got I, it's fine. Yeah, we'll just,
Do you want to do I? You can
We'll,
go
we'll,
into
we'll
it.
do it if we have time. We'll do the ones that we've actually planned for.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we'll
this
listen.
is- yeah, I.
The reason why is because I is very much like it's a little bit of a different like take from.
Still, take a few minutes, just go through now.
I was on my playlist.
Yeah, I did think it was.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's basically a song about like self-love essentially. So I thought you might actually enjoy it.
Oh, thanks, Stuart.
It's-
You
it's
know,
fine.
like variety is
Is it not on
there.
yours?
The artist. No,
Shall I
Go for it,
Yeah,
go
okay,
for it.
right.
It's short anyway.
Well, the
short.
first, yeah, okay. I'll skip to the actual hymn scene because the first bit's like just this is a world premiere. Anyway, I'd have been through a whole lot, trial, tribulation, but I knew God. Satan want to put me in a bow tie. Pray that the holy water don't go dry. Yeah, yeah. As I look around me, so many motherfuckers want to down me, but enemy, what the hell? Enemigo never drowned me. In front of a dirty double mirror they found me, and I love myself. The world is a ghetto with big guns and picket signs. I love myself, but I can do what I want whenever I want. I don't mind. I love myself. He said I gotta get up, life is more than suicide. I love myself. One day at a time, the sun gonna shine.
That is pretty good.
Very good. A bit of upbeat lyrics.
This was the first song that was released from To Pimp a Butterfly, and this was very much that sort of like, oh, okay, Kendrick's coming with a different, like, positive mentality now, because at this point now, Good Kid, Bad City blew up. That was the money maker.
Yes.
Now he's invested in TDE, which is his like record label, and properly getting. I mean, they literally did the entire soundtrack for Black Panther. They are winning right now. So it was literally like, okay, we've made our money. Let's like try and have a bit more of a positive impact. So much so that was it To Pimp a Butterfly where the album cover is literally a blood and a crip literally shaking hands on the front.
Oh, that's cool imagery.
I think it is.
That's
It
cool.
might be for I actually. Just
Can I do my blood
I
thing?
think it might be for For To Pimp a Butterfly, I think it's just a
remember
group
that
of black people
Yes,
to the
that's
White
the White House. That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah. So it
Is
might
that
be
the
for
right
just
way?
I don't know. I'm
I
not.
don't
I'm not.
I don't know.
I am not even. Do not incite gang war.
Don't be doing that shit.
No, it's true. Like this was I think it was the
geography.
first song after Good Kid, Mad City, but it wasn't so much like, okay, we've made our money in this, now let's be positive. I think it's we've made enough of a splash. People are paying notice. Now let's use our platform.
Absolutely.
Because Good Kid, Mad City wasn't promoting gang violence or anything. It was
No,
like,
no.
I'm telling you a story. This is real,
This
and
is
so
where it
many
come from.
people either related to it, liked it, or just were entertained by it and they got interested. Now they're here for his positive stuff, which is what he's trying to do.
And for his lyricism, because I mean, a lot of
Yeah.
people just like him because he has like a different vibe. Essentially, he's got a different lyrical style to a lot
Kendrick?
of people.
Yeah, if
Yeah, I
you did a
can
rap
tell.
about
He's
politics
poetic.
or Soviet Russia, I'd be like, okay,
Yeah.
let me learn about this.
He's poetic. He could genuinely teach me about any subject, which is kind of impressive for him.
This is honestly the best rap we've done by a goddamn country mile. Like,
Oh, when we compare it with KSI and
Whoa, let's not devalue
Drake.
KSI.
I think I'd say lyrically speaking.
He's always been a better lyricist than Drake.
Can you
but
like
Drake's
stop
an
whacking
adult.
your bottle all over
Yeah,
the
but
place
Drake
there?
has.
Sorry, I'll put it over here.
Well, we're just talking about in King Kunta, isn't it? So yeah, we'll get to that.
Oh yeah,
we'll get to that.
Do you want to continue? I'll jump onto King Kunta.
What do you think, Emma?
I mean, we've only just done the opening
Yeah,
verse.
Carry on. This is the best song I think meaning wise. So
Okay.
go for it.
Everybody looking at you crazy. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Lift up your head and keep
Ooh,
moving.
Sorry, can I just pause you there? If you do that part and I do the brackets.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so
Yeah.
start at the beginning.
Right. Everybody looking at you crazy.
Crazy.
What you gonna do?
What you gonna do?
Lift up your head and keep moving,
Keep moving.
or let the paranoia haunt you.
Haunt you.
Wait. Peace to fashion police. I wear my heart on my sleeve. Let the runway start. You know the miserable do love company. What do you want from me and my scars? Everybody lack confidence. Everybody lack confidence. How many times my potential was anonymous? How many times the city making me promises? So I promise this. I love myself. And then he does the.
That was like when you go to a school play and your two kids have the main solo. That was great. But I think that's the best messaging so far.
Yeah.
Also, it's got a really catchy like music bit.
Yes, it does have a really good riff. Yeah,
I
really
mean,
beautiful.
the closing one. Do you want to do that as well?
It's not on your playlist, mate.
Just here, I think. Unless you want to start there. Oh, one. No. Awesome.
I love myself.
I went to war last night.
Yeah.
Okay, I went to war last night with an automatic weapon. Don't nobody call a medic.
Hard to
I'm gonna
read,
do
man.
it till I get it right. I went to war last night. I've been dealing with depression ever since an adolescent, ducking every other blessing. I could never see the message. I could never take the lead. I could never bob and weave, form a negative and letting them annihilate me. And it's evident I'm moving at meteor speed. Finna run into a building, lay my body in the streets, keep my money in the ceiling, let my mama know I'm free, give my story to the children and a lesson that they can read, and the glory to the feeling of the holy unseen. Seen enough, make a motherfucking scream. I love myself.
Oh, look at those bounces.
Yeah. You can't actually read his stuff without actually getting into the rhythm. It's in there.
It's intrinsic.
It's iambic pentameter. He gets them in there. This is poetry in itself.
Beautiful stuff, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
You're good. Do you want to make
next
comments about that, or
Yeah, I mean,
you just read it out?
I figured I'd give. I would thought that Sat would have a look at this one. I wasn't sure that he wasn't on his list. So yeah, any thoughts on a more positive?
Yeah, no, it's good that I've seen that aspect of him, and it's good not to just talk about the depressing, bleak existence of wherever you are, and that you can bring yourself out of it.
It is a breath of fresh air, I will say, because a lot of rappers, when they do positive songs and they're like boasting about themselves and saying I love myself, it does tend to be like I get all these bitches, I get all this money.
But this is in spite of the circumstances.
That's it. He's literally like, I know I love myself because I've sort of made something of myself despite my negative like upbringing and despite all these things that are weighing me down essentially.
Yeah. And not just that, it's like he's talking about loving yourself despite of this. He's not saying he's won, he's saying he's been fighting from adolescence. It's a mental well-being. You need to love yourself regardless of what's going on. And it's just like,
regardless of your drawbacks.
Yeah, from a negative and letting them annihilate me, and it's evident I'm moving at a meteor speed. Regardless of how much I stumble, I'm still moving. You know, so it's just, keep it going, man.
You see elements of that in I Love Kanye, don't you, as well?
I used to know Kanye.
Moving on.
That's good. Refreshing to hear that.
Alright, King Kunta. So, where to start with this?
Beginning?
I got a bone a bit. Sorry.
Well, the first line I've got is bitch were you when I was walking, now I run the game, got the whole world talking, King Kunta, everybody want to cut the legs off. Well, because it took me a second when I was reading through the lyrics, I was like, okay, where do I know this from? Obviously Kunta Kinte, but then I was like, where did I know this from? And the first time I heard about Kunta Kinte was when watching The Fresh Prince of all things.
Oh, okay.
Fucking
So
hell.
you never saw Roots in school?
No?
Yeah, have you ever heard of Roots? You know it now, right?
No, now, yeah. But next I did civil rights in back in history, but this never came up, I think. Or I could have missed the lesson, I guess. But Fresh Prince, when Will says like, "What, are you gonna chop my leg off like Kunta Kinte?" And I was like, "Oh, what's that?"
That was his foot, but
it was.
Sorry, foot.
No.
They gave him a choice. Either it was going to be the penis or the foot.
No,
he chose the foot.
Yeah. So he said, I
Was it
think.
even that? I thought he just took his foot. Because he was a runaway slave. That's what they always do with him.
It was a foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so based on the Roots. It's characters in the book, The Roots. So I've just done my research now.
Yeah.
So Roots is a novel back in, is it 1976?
Is it Alex Haley? Yeah.
Yeah.
Slave from Gambia. It basically tells the story of Kunta Kinte and his journey through being taken to America and then
and it
being a
follows
slave.
his descendants as well. Yeah.
It was a huge TV series in the 70s.
I was about to say,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
do you remember it?
Oh yeah.
So I was gonna
It
quiz-
was
I was gonna
like
quiz you
a
on this.
massive thing at the time. We'd never seen anything like it.
So go on, give us some real life at the time.
I mean,
Experience?
all I can remember is sort of it made white people in America feel
Very uncomfortable.
really guilty, really bad. I remember one woman being interviewed saying she just wanted to run out into the streets and say, I'm really sorry, you know, that we did this to you guys. And I think it really made people sit up and think for a moment. But then, you know, once the wave went, then it just went back to kind of old days, you know. But for a moment in time,
there was guilt.
It was a big wake up. Yeah.
I was like, remember? Did you ever see Dave Chappelle's sketch where like black people got reparations in America?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and how expensive.
It's like 1 million record labels got like made overnight, things like that. Anyway,
So it's like 40 acres and a mule.
I'm gonna go to the third verse unless you've got anything you want to talk about before.
I got a bone to pick. I don't want your monkey mouth motherfucker sitting in my throne again. Hey, what's happening? K dot in the hood. I'm mad.
Oh, sorry.
It's stressing.
So back to the bit I said before. So now I run the game, got the whole world talking, King Cunt to everybody want to cut the legs off him. A lot of rappers we've talked about on the podcast have always seemed to have lyrics about people that always out to get me, and they're not particularly that interesting because it's quite repetitive. Whereas having this analogy, I thought was a clever way of doing it because he's still doing that same sort of shit, but linking it to a very
It's both metaphorical and literal.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
very
So
yeah.
I thought that was very good and a very different way of approaching the now I'm successful and famous. People will want to knock me down, so I thought that was
It was
quite
an
good.
interesting. Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, like you say, it was a big TV show, so it's probably the most like evident example of like a black man that's been literally like having his legs cut off from beneath him. So yeah.
In the show, did they present it as that scene? Did they have a scene where it's like you have a choice whether to cut your dick off or cut? They had the scene
I
in there.
remember it. Yeah.
Whew, good
It's
stuff,
standing,
man.
well, they didn't actually say anything. This guy had this sort of like machete thing, a bit like you see in Star City, he's tried to escape, and they've found him, brought him back, and he's standing up. They've got him tied up, and they just hold this machete to his penis or to his foot, and they just look at him, and he points, or he looks at the foot, and they just go down to the foot, and then.
What was the reason for them doing that? Was it punishment?
Punishment, yeah.
Okay.
He was known for running away.
Oh, okay.
Hence, yeah.
So are we moving into the not so subtle diss at people with ghostwriters?
Well, that's exactly where I was going next.
That was next.
But most of y'all share bars like you got the bottom bunk in a 2-man cell.
A 2-man cell.
Oh, you gotta go up. Read a bit.
Do you want to read the whole thing? Alright, so
so
when you got the yams, do you want to do the bracket bits?
What's the
What's
yam?
the yam?
Yeah, what is a yam?
We'll come on to yams later.
Okay.
We'll come on to yams later. I'll go from after that. Should I go from there? I'll go from there. I can dig rapping, but a rapper with a ghostwriter? What the fuck happened? Oh no. That's what I wouldn't tell. But most of y'all share bars, like you got the bottom bunk in a 2-man cell.
2-man cell.
Something's in the water.
It's in the water.
No what?
Come on.
That's true, did it?
Okay. And if I got brown nose, some gold, then I'd rather be a bum than a motherfucking
I
baller.
love that.
Yeah.
I didn't know this was a thing.
I
What,
love that
ghostwriters?
so much.
No, just like shared bars between rappers. Like I thought that was
Yeah.
that doesn't happen surely. Between rappers themselves.
Yeah.
Ghostwriters, yes, I get
Yeah.
it, but not.
Well,
Why would you share
it's-
your goods with
it's
some
kinda-
other motherfucker?
Well, it's kind of like with songwriters. Not every songwriter, they might come up with a lyric, but they might not be able to deliver it as well as somebody else, for example.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you give it to someone else.
Yeah, like so they might have something to do with like cadence or voice. It might just generally be like, oh, you're making an album right now.
Yeah.
Cool. I've got a few little back catalogue here. If you give me X amount of money, they're yours basically.
Well.
So it's not necessarily. It's not the way he's making it sound is if like, oh yeah, Drake no longer doesn't have anything left in the tank, therefore he has to buy it. Sometimes it just can be a collaborative process. It's not necessarily like, oh, I'm just gonna pinch that.
The more you know.
So
But-
I'm trying to think. Sorry to cut you. I'm just thinking. Little Dicky and
He has no ghostwriter.
with Snoop Dogg.
Oh, so Lil Dicky probably ghost wrote that. Is that what you?
He wrote all of that and
Yeah,
he just
yeah,
gave
yeah.
it to Snoop and Snoop.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Yeah. That was very evident.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, doing your cadence.
But yeah, okay, guys. That's cleared that up for me. So I didn't realize that happened though. So that's really cool.
Because it is poetry.
But is this viewed as a negative though?
Well, it's just because in the rap community, because we've mentioned before, it's a competition. The
You're
idea
saying
that
the
if
best.
you're using somebody else's lines, that's like you're null and void from the argument now. It's a little bit silly, but I mean, but this is from somebody who's like, as you can see from his style, he is a poet. He's somebody that writes every single thing himself.
yeah.
So,
As opposed to creating a song.
So he's
his
very
craft,
old school.
yeah.
His entire like ethos is based off of like Tupac and other Compton legends that have come before him, who literally live and die by the sword.
I am
In
the
that
artist.
case,
These are my lyrics.
in their,
I'm not taking anyone
that's
else's
it.
words.
In their case, their sword is their pen, as in what they write down.
Whatever comes out of my mouth is my creation. I get that.
Whatever he
Yeah.
says, it's him. It's nobody else's words.
Very
and,
good.
And the line, if I've got a brown nose for some gold, then I'd rather be a bum than a motherfucking baller.
Yeah. It's a good.
Beautiful.
Really good.
It's literally just be your freaking self, and if it doesn't work, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Okay, it's fine.
Some would say that's reminiscent of Slipknot, Stuart. Just
It might, yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Although I haven't seen him fucking anybody yet, but we'll see. That could come up in the new album.
Just pointing guns at policemen. So
Anyway.
take it, a baller is a rich person or something.
Yeah.
Dad, do you wanna explain to Dad guys what
A baller.
what it means to be ball in?
You're rich.
Or it's more from the term like being a basketballer. If you're a baller, then you're a prominent basketballer.
Oh, that's a nice one. Ball in. Good.
That's nice,
Baller,
guys.
not baller.
I'm going to skip ahead to the yam bit. So when you got the yams, what's the yams? The yam bought it out of Richard Pryor, manipulated Bill Clinton with desires, 24/7, 365 days. I don't know what the flow is there, sorry.
24/7,
Times 2.
365 days,
Thank
times
you.
2. I was contemplating getting off stage just to go back to the hood, see my energy, and say, oh yeah!
Cool. So yams have been mentioned twice here, and obviously yams are a food that I associate with the black community in America quite heavily.
Very Thanksgiving-y, isn't it?
So is Kendrick saying that yams are some sort of superfood that have fueled Richard Pryor and his comedy genius and is doing the same for him? Is that what you're saying here?
Yeah, you're very right.
Alright, cool. That was very good.
Oh,
So
I thought it was something else rather than the food.
You can try and see it, a bit more metaphorical, like, what's that?
I'd see it as like cultural foods
What's
giving
superfood?
power
Yeah.
to those
Yeah.
individuals who have that food.
Soul food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right. So it's like the sweet potatoes for the Okinawans. That's
Sure.
what they lived on.
Is, yeah.
That was their
Sure.
fuel.
What are yams? I thought they were sweet potatoes for years. They're not. They're something different.
they're like bigger
Potato.
sweet potatoes.
Okay.
It's a different vegetable, but
You can make chips out of them and you
Yeah.
can fry them.
I don't know
I
how
won't,
sweet.
but yeah.
You can do that.
They're more nutrient
To be
dense.
fair, for a vegan diet, that would be quite nice.
Yeah. I need to bring more yams into my diet, actually.
Sweet.
There you go. You be like doing stand up like Richard Pryor, so why
Are
not?
you gonna do it?
We are in the yam country.
I didn't want to say I am yam, so it's fine.
Can we just confirm this podcast is solely in the UK, not worldwide? Because we had this with, was it AJ Tracy or what?
Oh yeah, we
Probably.
Oh, it's worldwide.
Yeah.
You can get it from anywhere.
Yeah, that's fine, because will they get the yam yam reference if they're in Australia?
Hey, they've got
Oh, explaining?
Google it.
They've got Google.
Yeah.
That's the thing, like, Dizzy Rascal said.
Good day,
like,
mates. Right, so we're
Here's
just
what
gonna
a
do
yam is.
And there goes our Australian
sideways
viewership.
Racist?
Right,
It's fucking racist.
yam yams, what we call.
Alright, fuck off, Ryan. I'm skipping ahead too. I was gonna kill a couple rappers, but they did it to themselves.
I've got it.
Everybody's suicidal, they didn't even need
my
to
help.
help. Go on, Stu, go on.
The shit is elementary. The shit is elementary. I'll probably go to jail if I shoot at your identity and bounce to the left. Stuck a flag in my city. Everybody screaming Compton. I should probably run for mayor when I'm done. To be honest.
Stop. So, back to that, I was gonna kill a couple rappers. bit.
Yeah,
As in-
I've got
really.
metaphor
Is it
again.
metaphorically?
Yeah, as in-
Metaphor again.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's what, sorry?
It's like
As in,
But again, why does it have to go down that route? Why does it have to say
Diss
kill?
tracks.
as in diss tracks. As in
Not
as-
literally.
No.
no. He's not. He's basically, again, why is he choosing this? Because he's not forgetting where he's come from. He's not forgetting his main audience, and he's letting them know.
I don't know,
I'm gonna
man.
kill you, but this is how we talk about. This is how you talk big in the streets. This is how you
Yeah,
talk.
man, I don't know, man. I feel like by this
I'm
album
body him.
now.
I'm
I
gonna bury
think
him.
he doesn't
Body
need
bag.
to stick
Yeah,
to
by
this
this
level.
album, I thought the wokeness level would have just like further increased, and I would have.
Well, but like you say,
he's so articulate and his vocabulary is so
Yeah.
extensive. Why does he have to
Doesn't really
resort
need
to
to go
this
back
shit again?
Because that's
Yeah.
what he that's the almost the what's the word, the vocabulary that people listen to when they say oh my god, you absolutely killed him. When Pusha T dropped a freaking diss track on Drake, people said that he was killed, he was body bagged, he was done for.
I get that. I get that. But he is. We've seen so good at forming new ways of saying things, be it metaphors or whatever. This just seems beneath him now.
Yeah, but if
No.
he changes the way he's talking, now he's got big, everyone's gonna be like, oh, you sold out.
But it's not changing the way for the sake of because he's become successful. I'm just.
But people
you
will
can
see it as that.
But you can see that it's no. But it doesn't have to say like that is what I'm saying. These sort of type of old school basic rap metaphors.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
when
he
somebody
raised the
says,
bar.
yeah, but when somebody says, "I'm gonna kill it," you would necessarily think they're literally.
Yeah, when you go into the
meaning
gym,
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
It's different from
I'm
kill it to
murdering
I'm
it.
gonna kill a couple rappers, like
Yeah,
killing it
But they did
yourself.
it. But they did it to themselves.
Yeah, they did it
So
to
they,
themselves.
they're
didn't
I don't know.
not actually
themselves.
killing it.
Everybody
They're
suits
actually-
I just think Kendrick is so fucking talented that he doesn't need to do this old shit
Yeah.
anymore.
He is,
That's
but
how I
just
view
because
it.
he's talented doesn't mean he has to throw away the old ways that have been proven. Don't forget,
But just because they're
building
proven
on
doesn't
a
mean they're
legacy.
good.
They are good. That's why he got there. You
This is why I
like it
disagree with
because
you.
it was.
But I don't like it. I've never liked it, so
Fair enough, but if you look at the metaphors he used in the previous songs, it's from his lexicon, it's from his area, and he's moved up, he's still giving shout outs, he's still keeping true to people, and he's doing it cleverly. He's not saying, fuck it, I'm gonna kill you because I'm that good. He's like, you know what, you killed yourselves, I don't need to go there, I'm King Kunta, I'm still running and trying to trap my foot off.
But it's not the problem with the, because he's that good. It's just the language that I have an issue with in particular. I just don't think it's necessary anymore. And because he's such a good wordsmith, he doesn't need to say
But
things
that's
like
because
that.
you
That's
view
the
it as
thing. You'll
negative.
you'd be also hung up on literally one word. But if he's like, I'm gonna smash a couple rappers, it just sounds weird.
Some people are offended by the mention of Kunta Kinte.
Yeah.
Because there
It's-
is some controversy around Alex Haley's book in that it wasn't
Completely
as
accurate as
Yeah.
well, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
It was-
and
But
just like
Samo,
he's
say you
choosing
moved to
context.
London and you were like talking to some people, and then you accidentally said "Right." Like that's just your heritage, isn't it? It's just where you've come from. You still
No,
speak-
Dad
Or you just
beat
gonna
that shit out of me.
Amma would have been locked up for a period of time if he'd come up with that, reciting his lines,
Yeah. But anyway,
listening to BBC.
I think move on.
No, I just know. Well, when I get big, I'm not gonna stop calling people dickheads or knobheads.
No, but that,
It's
again, that's
great.
different to using language like
Dickhead's a great
kill.
one.
Dickheads are great.
It's a
You
great song.
penis.
You know my thoughts. Looking at the Kendrick lyrics, I thought he's got some good material here, good theme.
Yeah.
Like say Martin Luther King, Black Panther, and King Kunta. But then it sort of descends into rappy, gunman-y
'Cause that's
lyrics,
where it's from.
which really I thought it was a great shame for me, because he could have developed it in a much more.
Please don't tell me that's
High-level
going to drop
way.
him from like an 8 to a 3 though, just because he's saying, I was going to kill a couple rappers, but they did it to himself.
Hey, wait, let's steady on there.
Anyway,
move on. So-
what was? Do you want to do the next line or?
Okay.
I was going to go on to this this wonderful line.
Oh yeah, fuck the judge.
I just
So-
saw fat vagina.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go to this bit, which is life ain't
Oh,
shit but a
yeah,
fat
the judge.
vagina, and not even a PHAT
Yeah,
vagina,
it's
an
a fat
actual
one.
FAT vagina.
What the hell, man?
That was really out of place for me. And I was like, what?
Nappy-headed ends.
Yeah, a little nappy-headed N-word with the world beneath him. Life ain't shit but a fat
Yeah.
vagina. Screaming, Annie, are you okay? Are you okay?
Oh,
Limo tinted
MJ.
with the gold plate straight from the bottom. This the belly of the beast. From a peasant to a prince to a motherfucking king.
Whoa.
Yeah.
But the fat vagina thing that seemed really out of place for me. I was like, what the fuck?
The whole thing, F the judge, fat V, and I just couldn't
I
make
think-
sense. I just thought, we've gone from King Kunta to...
So what does he mean? What is
Nonsense.
what is the analogy here? What's the metaphor here for a fat vagina?
It's probably something that, again, it could be just something that's specific to Compton. Like certain phrases you'll say, like, life ain't nothing but a bitch. Life ain't nothing but a fat.
But I'm just trying to think
So you
Yeah.
definition wise, what is a fat vagina in terms of life?
Hey, it could just literally be his preference.
What is a fat vagina when relating to
No,
life?
you were talking about earlier about like his positivity towards cunnilingus or like maybe his preference. He just likes
Bro,
a big wide vagina.
I'm not saying this is negative or positive. I'm
Are
just
you
trying to
against
understand
fat
the meaning.
vaginas?
No. Let's put it.
Does it say wide? I think wide
Well,
would be
I just said
different.
what-
to
yeah,
fat.
no,
No.
idea.
Okay,
Cat's
so
case.
no. All right, so life is a fat vagina. Regardless,
Yeah.
life is a vagina. It's a vagina,
It does.
and from the perspective of a young black man or any man, you want heterosexual man or male identifying. I'm just going.
Cis.
Yeah. It's a vagina. You want it, so you fuck it. But it's fat. It's still a vagina. You fuck it.
But why is it life not shit because it's a fat one?
No, it's not. It looks. It doesn't. I don't know if he doesn't like fat vaginas.
Bro, we're not gonna get to the bottom of
You
this.
still fuck it. That's basically what he's saying.
We're not gonna get to the
We're
bottom.
debating the
And-
validity of a fat
Oh, fat
vagina
as well. But no, he's like 20 million walking out of court building.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, fuck the judge. I made it past 25 and there was a little nappy-headed N-word with the world behind him. Life ain't shit but a fat vagina. vagina.
Like from his perspective, like most people from his area don't make it past 25.
And he's
So it's
acknowledging
literally
that.
like, well,
No, I'm not even commenting on that. I'm just interested in the fat
Ignore the
vagina.
vagina
I
bit.
can't. It's staring me in the face. It's the only thing
The statement is
underlying.
for you. You're never gonna get over life until you fuck the fat vagina.
and also you did mention before that the whole story of Kunta Kinte was quite sort of like alarming for people. It's very much like on the nose, on the button. This also is a line that has literally made you go, wait, what the fuck?
He's not
What the
sugar
fuck?
But now, because of this line,
Take that diabetes.
whether it be,
Detracted
Right,
from the
no.
theme of the song.
I'm not saying it's positive or negative, but I don't know, have no focus of what he's just said, what he's about to say, because
Yeah.
all I'm thinking about now is this: what the fuck, this fat
Is
vagina?
obese-
Maybe that was the
obese
point.
genitalia.
That's
is-
imagery right there. I've already got a fat vagina in my head right now.
Yeah, it's worked.
Anyway, yeah, I thought that was an interesting bit. I think we should move on to DNA, but unless you've got anything else you want to say.
And there's more gun stuff.
Oh, go on,
Bitch.
go on.
Or beware.
He done did it now, Kendrick.
I'm becoming desensitized because of you guys.
Cancel him. Bitch,
By
where
the
you and I
time
was
you hear the
walking.
next pop, the funk shall be with
That
you.
was
And then
basically
he says
just
gunshot.
that was just the like the outro essentially.
Yeah, but
Now we're on the whole.
can we just look at the actual
Now we're on the game.
chorus?
The whole world.
Go on, go for it.
Yeah.
Because he's talking about running throughout the whole thing, but when you go to the chorus, it's like, bitch, where were you when I was walking, when I was starting off? You're hating on me now, but you weren't saying anything, or you weren't there for me as I was on my way. And now that I'm here, you want to try and stop me? No, I'm
Or it
King
could be the other way around, where like, yo, you didn't fuck with me back then, so why are you jumping on the
Yeah,
bandwagon?
exactly
It could
that.
literally be in two different senses.
Just
yeah?
know you can't cut
Because
off
by the
my
time you hear
lyrics.
the next pump, the funk shall be within you.
Alright,
Yes.
cool. I want to go to the last line actually. I remember you was conflicted misusing your influence.
That was just a running line through To Pimp a Butterfly. Yeah.
Alright,
Yeah, and that's where you go into like, I had a dream. And
Okay,
the whole
alright.
two black stuff.
cool.
Misuse your influence.
DNA?
Aga.
do. Okay, tree. Sorry.
Is that short circuit reference? Was it?
It's a song, isn't it?
Oh, is it? I thought you were short circuit.
Got it.
Do you want a couple of fun facts about DNA?
Oh, go on.
What?
What? The actual
I was about
DNA?
to say,
Yeah, you know,
The 23
Deoxyribonucleic acid.
deoxyribonucleic acid.
God, there you go.
So we share 99.9% of the same DNA. So what?
Oh, you weren't kidding?
You're gonna,
I
you're
thought
gonna
you-
make some vegan fucking
No,
thing
I'm
out of this.
not. I'm not.
You can smell it.
It's only 0.1%
Uh-huh.
in the DNA that makes us different. We share 99.9%.
Is all that melanin? Is that it? Just
Hey.
melanin.
I don't know what it
Just a
is.
little more melanin.
Salt bay that.
I was just about to do that.
And
That's God and his cauldron.
If it was just the melanin, which all looked the same apart from being different shades.
Hey, I don't know how powerful melanin is. Is that 1%?
It's fairly
I'm no
powerful.
scientist boy.
It's not the melanin.
okay.
It's not the melanin.
It's gonna be a little bit of
With
melanin.
chemicals,
It's a
I know.
little bit of melanin, but it's not all melanin.
I don't know the percentages, right?
What is
It's
it?
not
You share
1%.
50% with bananas, right?
hey,
Is that
we
true?
read the same thing.
Yeah. Oh no, just no.
You just
Does
know
everyone
it.
not know
All
this?
right.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
50% with bananas.
Yeah.
That's banana,
Yeah,
dude.
we
Wow.
share 50% same DNA
Shit ton of
with
potassium.
bananas.
That's why people are delicious.
Wow. Oh, Hannibal. with us here.
Just like cannibalism across the top there.
Me and Amma, we love a good fat vagina.
Oh, imagine Gordon Ramsay like cookfest on like the fat vagina's got in the pan, just like pouring the fat back onto it.
It's not fat enough.
And with some cream frige on the side.
Can we stop talking about fat vaginas now?
Oh,
It's great.
it's like, you know, in Hannibal, the show where he feeds Lawrence Fishburne various shit. It's like, what's this? Oh, it's just some beautiful lamb fat vagina.
I want the tattoo, life ain't shit but a fat vagina on my body.
You know what?
You just looked at it, just like,
This is now going to be the most recurring thing from.
no, that's
this
still
entire
Jay-Z.
podcast.
That's still Jay-Z.
It's in your head.
Oh, okay, fair enough. All right, go on, Dad. More.
All right, there's just one more. So if you stretched out your DNA, you could go to the moon 6,000 times.
Oh.
You shouldn't do that though. It will definitely kill you.
Yeah.
That's all I got. That's all I got.
Believe me, I'm a scientist.
Okay. Is there any
By the way, sorry
That's
to
it.
go back
This
to
is
Elon
why-
Musk and stuff, but if we actually colonized Mars and AI became like sentient and wanted to kill us and stuff, and we ran like the Mars people were safe, that would not be the case. AI could like just transport its consciousness within 20 minutes to Mars and then fuck everything up there. So, anyway, DNA.
I think you need to stop
Get out of
listening to
jail
Elon
card.
Musk motivational.
No, that was on like a normal fucking interview, but
We can do it, Elon. We can kill the Martians as well.
I just love that man. He's a good guy. Right, we're going into it?
I was going to say he's in court at the moment, isn't he?
For what?
That paedophile comment he made.
That's
So
the one
Elon's
thing.
in court at the moment.
That's the one thing that he's done that's slightly wrong. But everything, the good outweighs the bad so much. Alright, so where should I go from this? Do you want to do the opening bit if you want to do it?
What I got? Damn it! All right, I got loyalty, got royalty inside my DNA. Cocaine quarter piece, got war and peace inside my DNA. I got power, poison, pain, and joy. I got is there something
Inside my DNA.
Inside my
Inside my
DNA.
DNA. I got hustle.
No ambition
Though
flow.
Got ambition flow inside my DNA.
Very good. Like that's pretty flipping. I thought very good that he's got the DNA repetitive, but he's just like unwinding the coils. I quite like that. He's done that. That's quite cool. I'll read the next one. I was born like this, since one like this, immaculate conception. I transform like this, perform like this, was Yeshua's new weapon. I don't contemplate, I meditate, then off your fucking head. This, that, put the kiss to bed, this, that. So, immaculate conception. So, is he, because he's got I was born like this, immaculate conception, and then he's got I transform like this. Is that not a contradiction in the lyrics there? Where he's
Jesus thing, isn't it?
Yes, it is, yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
Yeshua is, or
Yeah,
Joshua,
Jewish
it's
Jesus.
a Hebrew word for salvation.
Oh, I thought it was Jewish Jesus. As in like Jewish term for Jesus.
I think
Why not say
that's
Jesus?
Yahweh or something like that. I don't know.
I
I
thought
don't
that
know,
was
I looked this up when we were first going to do this podcast about 2 months ago. So I've kind of forgotten what...
because I thought it was the Jewish term for
But
Jesus.
I thought
That's
this
what I
was
looked up.
him comparing himself to Jesus Christ.
Oh.
I'm just thinking
And
of
he's
Sean
do-
Connery, like
he's-
lying down injured, just like...
Sounds like it.
Well, it's also isn't the whole point that we're
The
all
original
Jesus,
script,
that,
Mr. J is alive.
Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. We've got 3
I'm not even
conversations
there.
going on here.
Sinful.
Alright, go Dad. Let's...
So when I looked at that, I thought, is he now elevating himself to
No, but that's the thing. Like
a deity, godlike status?
It's more like I was just saying to Dimitri. I think isn't the whole point of like Jesus is in all of us. The blood of Christ basically runs through us all, essentially. So he is on the same level because he is like Jesus. We are all Jesus.
And he's a new weapon.
I don't. I mean,
I don't.
Depicting himself as a son of God.
I mean, yeah,
We're
but that's the
all
thing.
children of...
Yeah, like you said,
Are we
we're
all
chi-
Jesus?
That's the point, isn't it? We're all
Yeah.
sort of like
We're all children
we're all
of
like
yeah.
yeah.
Did you know that we share 99% of our DNA with Jesus?
99.9. Yeah.
So
I don't know, you're
the
quite
point
similar in
anyway.
melanin levels.
I was about to say 0.1% isn't completely
Because
known. Wow.
The only reason why
So if he is, if we're all Jesus and he's comparing himself to Jesus, Jesus was a man of kindness, compassion, peace.
Is Kendrick vegan?
That's a very good point. Jesus wouldn't be talking about guns and...
Oh, Jesus spoke about it.
Jesus
But more
vegan?
like, don't.
No,
do
you
it.
fed the people with fish and bread.
Oh, what a
Yeah.
bastard.
Well, no.
Yeah, that's just wrong in itself. But anyway, that's...
I doubt that Kendrick would have the the basically the wherewithal to call himself as like a
Irreverence.
god or as like a deity because he was brought up on that. So
Yeah.
I don't think he would be blasphemous in that regard.
No.
However, then
So
off your
why
fucking
say-
head, that's a big contradiction to
The
Jesus.
what, sorry?
Then off your fucking head. That's a big contradiction to the Jesus vibes.
Mm.
So that was a bit weird.
But at the same time,
That puts the kids to bed. This
is that
I didn't quite understand
The link.
Jesus bit, and then
Off your fucking
he doesn't
head.
contemplate, he meditates, then off your head.
Then again, like that reminds me of some chop suey with System of a Down.
Yeah.
Put
Like-
the kids to bed.
Why did the keys on the table? Like that sort of random shit.
Yeah.
It's just very erratic, isn't it? So, but I don't know what the fuck's going on here.
Even if you don't refer it to Jesus, the fact that I was born like this, I'm so amazing, it was immaculate conception, I transform, I am the salvation, I don't contemplate, I meditate, then off your fucking head, it's like...
But then, yeah, that bit there, it goes good.
Calm before the storm.
He's basically saying, I'm better, I'm not like you, I'm better, off your fucking head. He's just presenting something, saying he's above it, so I don't know.
I
Is
don't
this
know,
better
man.
than the other rappers?
No, I think this is just in general. I am great. It feels like a boast. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not.
Because on the one hand, he's saying he's inherited some really good DNA, some good genes from his ancestors.
Yeah.
And he's got the combination. He's got the good stuff, the bad stuff: war, peace, pain, joy, poison, ambition, flow. And then it goes into this Jesus thing.
It's very like counter to what he's been preaching throughout all the other songs. Like this seems weirdly big-headed for Kendrick.
True, but at the same time, this is kind of what people wanted from him, essentially. Because, like you say, when you've like,
you shouldn't give a fuck about.
Yeah, you should write the lyrics for yourself first, and then it's a bonus if your fans.
I just think this verse is very out of place from all the good shit that we've had.
It does feel out of place, but I think I sort of got it in that he's saying, yes, I've inherited this from everyone else, but I am unique in that I am this, and this. It's kind of a takeaway from this is the main theme, but me.
Then it goes to then off your fucking head. So I don't know, man.
He's saying he was born like this. He was born better, and since one like this,
I mean, he's got siblings. So
is he saying when he was born he was almost godlike, Jesus-like?
No, I don't think that's the case.
Because that's what he's saying. Immaculate conception.
Immaculate conception.
I was born like this.
It's not exclusively Jesus. So
or he's saying his dad
Christianity,
wasn't
godlike. Sorry,
saying his dad wasn't very involved.
Yeah. Maybe he was through artificial insemination.
It doesn't even necessarily like the word like conception literally means like an idea as well. So it could literally just mean everything that I think of is immaculate. So it's not necessarily a Jesus.
It's not necessarily him.
But then he uses Yeshua.
Oh, because obviously when you think
tennis match game. I'm like, where am I going?
When you think of the word immaculate conception, the first thing you think about is obviously Mary, the Virgin Mary. Mm-hmm. So obviously he's going to link those. It's wordplay essentially. He's trying to like influence it, but at the same time he's saying my ideas are immaculate, but I'm also the savior. I.e. Joshua.
I don't see.
We can combine the two.
Yeah.
I don't think that's correct though, because I don't see any reference to idea creation here. So I'm going to say that's not the case.
Alright, so
I think
it's a stretch. I think it's a stretch.
That's before this. I'm on about this bit.
Okay, so in this... Okay, we're really spending
perform like this?
I was born like this, since one like this. Since one. That's the part that I'm not quite...
Since one hasn't aged?
Yeah, maybe. Mm-hmm. But Immaculate Conception, again, we always link it to Jesus. But one, Immaculate Conception isn't exclusively to Jesus. Mm-hmm. In any scripture, it does happen like you've been blessed. Jesus was the main one, because it's not just you've been blessed. This is God's baby, and you will be the mother of this. But I perform like this. Yeshua, salvation, yeah, sure. My ideas are something that will save you. I don't contemplate, I meditate. Enough, you fucking... I don't even care. It is confusing for me. This one.
You should care. That's the point of that podcast.
This is
lyrical analysis.
Like, if we go further, we're like, okay, this one makes more sense because of what we read from the rest of it.
Yeah. Do you want to carry on?
Let's carry on.
The next verse. Did you
Guys,
say?
I found a vegan link.
I just killed
next verse.
SHIT.
Hang on, go on, Dad, sorry. Then vegan link.
No, I was going to say the next verse, it doesn't sound very Jesus-like or God-like to say realness, I just kill shit.
But that's more... That's, again,
I just kill
and I got millions, I got riches. Now, Jesus was a man of humility. And he didn't...
But again...
the temple where they were having... the riches and stuff in
Who says he's talking about money?
We're doing Indiana Jones references now.
He didn't say anything about money. I got millions, followers, riches.
Riches,
plenty of things you can be rich in.
Yeah, but come on.
Yeah, but that's the point. It's about like because it's rap music. You're meant to be thinking he's talking about millions of money. He's talking.
I don't
about
know this point though about because it's rap music. Like he's changed the game enough.
But that's the thing. You're automatically thinking it's about money because it's supposed to be rap music.
I got millions.
Yeah.
I got riches.
Yeah.
But again,
Immaculate Conception is two things.
I don't know.
It's wordplay. I'm a fan of Kendrick here, but I do believe that most of the things that he says tends to have a double meaning. He's like a master of double entendres. He's a master of wordplay. That's what I'm saying. Like when he says I got millions, I got riches, that doesn't necessarily mean like money. Of course, your automatic thought is he's talking about money, but he's never really bragged about money before. He could be talking about the fact that he's got millions behind him, he's got followers, I've got riches, I've got family, I've got people in my life that enrich my experience. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I get
Could
the
be a
point.
bit clearer.
Yeah.
But that. Why are we here? Why are we here?
No, but I
That's
think
another question, Stuart. Why are we here? What's the meaning of life?
The point Dad's making, I think with with all there
He's
is
got a point.
beforehand, we've been able to assess and suss out the other meanings of
It's
what he's
been
saying.
easier.
Whereas with this, it's
This is
I don't know.
this one. Yeah, this is key stage 2. You know. Yeah. This is multiplication.
It could be millions.
But then again-
fives across the board, boys.
Then he goes on, I win again, then win again like Wimbledon.
I was very
I know.
taken aback by the
I'm a
tennis
I
champion.
win
Yes,
again, then win again, like Wimbledon.
So yeah, that's him again. The sound that ends in is like a bird. You see fireworks and Corvette tires skirt the boulevard. I know how you work. I know just who you are.
User.
Bitch.
So that means I'm better than you again.
Yeah, it's bragging.
Yeah,
This
but
is
only
exactly.
contribute
Yeah, it's a very braggy
Oh,
song.
and he shoots as well. What does he do, Ryan?
I love how you
Better
pick these out, and it could be like
better
5
than-
paragraphs later.
Yep. I
Yeah.
thought you were doing a
No.
gunman thing.
I see jellyfish. That wasn't mentioned.
Yeah, so I think it's just a shame that he's kind of put these kind of boastful lyrics
Well,
in.
let's be honest. Of all of the boastful songs you've ever heard in terms of rap music, you have to admit this one's far more creative than "I'm the best," "I'm freaking amazing,"
I'm so good, it's in my
Oh,
DNA.
yeah.
Like it's there's creative almost.
I'm looking
It's-
at the
it's
potential,
braggadocious.
Stu. I'm looking at the potential, so...
He's made it. He's
Oh,
won.
it's clearly better than the others
Oh,
that
yes.
we've done. Clearly,
I'm glad we're at
that's clear. That's clear.
Yeah.
I'm so intrigued to see Dad's score at the end. This is
Oh,
gonna
if
be
He's not
fantastic.
going to get a 0.5.
that.
Okay.
The table would be flipped.
Derek Chisora in this
I'm
bitch.
cancelling it. Okay.
I might be hung by my Santa hat,
That's hung by your beard.
hung by my baubles.
You're in Kunta Kinte. Anyway,
Yeah. So use which.
I'm gonna move on now.
Yeah. Do you want to, is there one that you want to move on to, or should I carry on?
I was gonna go. This is Paula's oldest son.
Whoa.
Hang on, Emma, where have you gone to?
Oh, so I got woe.
No,
I've heard woes. I've heard woes.
Yeah, I was
This
gonna
is an
say
entirely
something.
different chorus.
Yeah, the
What?
chorus. The
Oh,
chorus
yeah.
is different each time.
Mm.
When he's talking about what's in his DNA.
I saw nothing to just talk about more in there because it's.
Right. Was
you
there
wanna-
something you wanted to say?
As a scientist, your hormones probably switch. I'm guessing it's probably
Yeah. Probably switch.
inside your DNA.
Yeah.
Actually, can happen. So
Oh, is it?
yeah, scientifically accurate. Your hormones can affect which genes are expressed.
Yes.
Fair enough. I must admit, I'm not very scientifically literate. So
Epigenetics.
Epigenetics.
We are more than our genes. So we've got genetic markers, but our lifestyle dictates whether they're switched on or not.
Did you know that from your Chem-Eng background or your
Proper diet and
vegan
exercise
stuff?
can actually
Reach.
stave off
Reach.
My
Okay.
reach training.
Oh, okay, cool.
To inherit.
Oh wow. Anyway,
I should read a book.
yeah, this is Paula's oldest son.
Yeah, it's
I
not.
think. Okay, cool.
In the other album, she's referenced.
Another line. My expertise checked out in 2nd grade.
Where am I looking? Sorry.
Bit lower. 6 lines below.
Oh, wow, you jumped.
Yeah, you did.
I know murder, conviction, burn.
Where are we now?
Are you gonna miss that?
I'll read it out.
Yeah.
See my pet is. I don't know the verse, the flow, but see my
right,
pedigree
okay.
most definitely. Don't tolerate the front shit I've been through.
Probably
Probably
offend
offend
you.
you. This is Paula's oldest son. I know murder, conviction, burners, boosters, burglars, ballers, dead, redemption, scholars, fathers, dead with kids, and I wish forgiveness. Yeah. Soldier's DNA, born inside the beast. My expertise checked out in 2nd grade. So what does that mean there? The
Yes.
2nd grade bit, in terms of like, I don't get the reference. Whatever
don't know.
meaning.
My expertise checked out in 2nd grade. I don't
Maybe
know.
read on a bit more. When I was 9, one cell motel, we didn't have nowhere to stay. At 29, I done so well. Hit Carter.
Well, second grade would be early on, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
just-
I get that. I just
I
don't
don't know a
know.
lot
I
about
guess
the subject since then.
I'm just gonna make an assumption
Alright,
here.
okay.
Like
I
at
thought
second
something
grade,
more than just that.
at 2nd grade, he was probably getting bad, like just overall in school, and people thinking,
Yeah, I'm
shit.
checking out.
But then look at me at 29, I'm here.
Okay. I thought there was something like more that I was missing out on there, but it seems that's it. Okay, I'll move on to.
I did like the line, and I wish I was fed forgiveness.
Yeah, you would like
Now that
that.
would be great in the rap world, wouldn't it? In the
Well,
the rappers world,
it's
you know, let's all get on
Yeah,
together.
No, you're absolutely right. And then, to be fair, he literally says, "And I wish I was fed forgiveness." After listing all of these like technically negative connotations from living in the environment that he did, you know,
Yeah.
burners, boosters, burglars, ballers, dead, redemption, scholars, fathers dead with kids. Yeah.
And we all know he didn't take part in any of it, but he still feels some level of guilt or responsibility for it.
It's definitely a song of two halves, isn't it, this one?
Yeah.
But the second half of the song, I think, is way better than the first.
Much like the double helix.
I was literally about to say, thank you, Ryan. Thank you so much.
So that's
Very
the hidden meaning. Very good.
Is that what fat vagina means?
He's now 1.5 in there.
Also, backbone don't exist. It's a sugar phosphate backbone in DNA.
You know what? Ryan wins.
Yep. Ryan wins the podcast.
I'm glad you're our science consultant for the podcast.
Science and rhyming, that's one for that.
That's rhyming.
And maths.
All right.
So I was just thinking, what if all the rappers got together and had sort of like a,
Treaty of Versailles.
yeah. So you could have Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Black Panthers all sort of on the same platform. They could be the modern version of that, and really try and progress things rather than all this infighting and I'm better than you and I'm going to kill you, whether it's with my lyrics or with a gun. If they kind of had more cooperation.
You're assuming that some of these people aren't actually insane. Kanye West.
Yeah, there's a number of reasons why.
That's another level.
There's a
I
number of
think.
reasons why. But also, not everyone in the rap community is actually beefing. It's just hype to actually make sales. A lot of the time, it's just I don't care.
It's
But
like the KSI Logan Paul stuff.
Yeah.
a major reason why they don't all meet is because of fear of one, someone will kill them, and two, white supremacists will be like, all right, we've got all the major influential black people in one area. Let's
Nuke them.
And I kid you not.
Dimitri, we're in the digital world,
Oh, a big telephone company.
Let me fucking live in that
video
shit.
conference or
yeah,
something, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Just their
You're the
location.
Google Hangout call with all the rappers, basically.
Yeah, and people will be selling tickets. Yo, you spend $100,000 and you can come and see all these celebrities in one go. It's like, no,
Yeah, that's a trap.
no,
Like,
it is a trap.
It's a trap.
It is a
It's a rap
That's
trap.
like, it's like Inglourious Bastards when they had Hitler and everyone in the cinema at the same time.
I'm not saying occupy the same space. I'm just saying work towards the same agenda.
Yeah, but
Peace,
that's-
benevolence, kindness, compassion.
Are you now going to get into the Wu-Tang Clan because the guy was vegan on the Joe Rogan?
Oh, RZA. Oh, man. RZA's my new man.
Okay, cool. Next line that I want to talk about is, and I'm going to shine like I'm supposed to, antisocial extrovert. I like this because I think a lot of people in this day and age are this.
I would definitely
Like-
attribute myself as an antisocial extrovert.
Yeah.
I'm very out there, but at the same time, I really like my own fucking space at the same time.
So I like that a lot. And then,
Oh, right.
and pessimist,
Being
and then
antisocial.
and pessimist never struck my nerve. There's numerous points here where I'm like, good mentality. He is literally instilling a good mentality in people in some of the lyrics, and this is definitely one of them. So I like this shit because people say I can't do shit all the time, and I'm like, fuck you, I'm gonna prove you wrong, kind of thing. So it's
He actively
like,
says that. Just look at the camera and say that.
fuck you. I hate it because like, especially people close to you, like when they say that you can't do something, I really, because I'm like with my mates especially, like I'm your cheerleader. I'll cheer you on until my dying breath.
Yeah.
And when the friends then show me that sort of reciprocation of like, oh, okay, like you can't do that, blah blah blah, for some whatever reason, I'm like, fuck you, man, I'll do it. Watch this space, bitch. So it's just like I like that a lot. So he's giving good outlooks to people.
That also, like I say, it does sort of, it's very intrinsic with Kendrick's lifestyle because he talks about how he keeps a close inner circle. He doesn't really extend himself to the greater rap community. He doesn't really do a lot of collaborations with he's never really done that many big name tracks for his album. They do tend to be like his own group, his own label.
Now, Dr. Dre in Good Kid, Mad City, and with the Black Panther album, he had other artists on the songs, but that's because it was to kind of express the difference in the African diaspora in terms of music as well. So
Absolutely, yeah. But for the most part, I mean, he did have a song with Rihanna in Damn as well. But yeah, it is quite rare.
that song with Big Sean and him and some other geezer.
Was it Control or something?
Control.
Yeah.
That verse, he basically said to all the rappers, I am your best friend, but I'm here to murder all of you. I want all of your fans to forget your name when they hear my verse. And then he listed the 10 best rappers he could think of. Yeah. And he's like, if I didn't mention you, you're not up there. Q. And Eminem's like, yeah, I'm up there. J. Cole's like, yeah, I'm up there. Drake's like, yeah, I'm up there. Pusha's up there. It's just some people are like, fuck fuck you, man. And it was Big Sean. I think he may or may not have mentioned Sean, and I was just like,
Big
you're
Sean
on
got
my
offended.
track. How have you not mentioned me as one of the best? It's like Kendrick doesn't care.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I am your
Like
friends,
it.
but I'm here to murder you.
Yeah.
I'm following on from
That's the
that.
name of the game.
It is.
following-
Don't hate the player, hate
I'm
the game.
listening to that in the car, man.
Following on from
Hang
that.
on, you know this cooperation thing or confrontation.
Your Google Hangout is a myth.
Yeah,
it's not
No.
gonna happen.
I'm saying in the heavy metal world,
Yeah.
Oh, there's lots.
they
of
are very
instances, yeah.
complementary towards each other.
Yeah.
So bands will say, "Well, if it wasn't for Black Sabbath or Iron Maiden, we wouldn't even be here."
But that's what they
and
do
they're
that all the time.
constantly praising each other.
Which is fair, but at the same time,
Yeah. Or
because
Yeah.
like the entire ethos of like heavy metal is the fact that they are very sort of like against the norm. They're very much they beat to their own drum essentially. So when you find somebody of that same ilk, you are sort of unified. It's a community base. Whereas rap and hip hop in particular, that's the mainstream now. Every you cannot see in the top 10 for the past like 10 years. I guarantee you, there's been at least one rapper in every single top 10 for the past 10 years. It's just it's part of the culture now.
It is
so it is
competitive.
competitive. It's not so much like, oh yeah, there are obviously people that are collaborative, and you will see like, I mean, Jay-Z and freaking Kanye West literally are like, you say, neck and neck in terms of like they are competitive, but they literally have an album together.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good point, because in the metal now, we are not part of the mainstream. It's definitely become more. It's still very popular, immensely
Oh, of course.
popular, but it's just it's more of a subculture. Like you look at Download, it's like one of the most attended festivals in the UK.
The last
It's
big
very
heavy metal
peaceful.
song.
No, I get it. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
but like,
you know, all the kind of heavy metal events we attend, we always talk to people,
I have to admit,
and there's very chilled out vibe.
I don't want to sound like a twat, but the clientele of heavy metal is the best out of any music genre of any gig that I've been to ever.
Oh.
Like, it's been consistently the same. Like,
Yeah, I
nicest.
wouldn't be
That's the
worried
deodorant
about
thing.
getting stabbed or shot or anything.
Hey, that is a flipping stereotype.
No,
which
it's
is
not.
very
what,
nah,
what was
bro.
that? I missed that one.
The fact that metalheads all stink.
They do.
Not all, but deodorant sales are definitely low in that community. And you
Oh, Stuart!
And the same,
I
and
do.
I'll tell you what, I'll take a bullet myself. Same goes for wrestling fans. Fucking buy some deodorant, you prick. Fuck me.
Anime
Anyway,
fans.
Continue. Anime. Whoa. Shots fired everywhere.
You fucking stinky weebs.
Wow, stinky
Anyway.
motorheads.
Anyway,
Yeah.
like, because
on
I've,
track.
I've been on loads of mosh pits. I have not like encountered many that actually do have any BO and stuff. I think everyone's got their sure
Ammo.
roll
Nah.
on.
Yeah.
You are out of your mind.
I know, I do it a lot. So
you
I don't think you can say.
The only way you don't smell them is if you are one.
Yeah, this is the. If
I
you
am the
don't-
most
There's always a crazy person on the bus.
manscaped man.
Hey, look, we're not in the 70s Afghans soaking them in patchouli,
Wait, what?
and that was the kind of common smell then.
What?
What are you talking about?
I am.
People used to
lost.
wear these Afghan like sheepskin things, which they used to soak them in this essence called patchouli, and that's all you could smell at heavy metal gigs.
Oh, really?
Back in the 70s.
What's the Afghan thing though?
Wait.
It was like a coat. It was like imagine a sheepskin coat.
yes.
I was gonna say
I
that.
thought you meant actually
When it comes-
Afghanistan.
I was very
like that.
confused.
Anyone from Afghanistan.
When it comes to metal gigs, we're normally the only Browns in town. So I was like, why are you making that comment?
Oh, good one.
You can't quote anecdotal evidence though of everyone seems really nice at the concerts we've been to, and then be like, but no one ever stinks. No, that's not true at all. When that's anecdotal evidence as well.
Well, no, but it's not. It's my experience. Do you know what I mean? Like, so for
Yeah.
example, at metal gigs, like this is my example I always go for.
Crazy person.
So
on the bus, isn't
let's
it?
go. Metal gigs, Machine Head, Point Slipknot, massive, one of the biggest mosh pits I've ever been in.
Yeah.
But they're preaching if a brother falls, pick him up, and that's what we did. Like everyone fell, pick them up. I counteract that with P Money at Reading and Leeds, where within
Yeah,
the
it's
first
not-
30
it's not
seconds,
good.
some chav took this 15-year-old kid down and stomped his face, and he was
It's not good.
bloody everywhere.
it's not good.
This is a P Money gig in Reading and Leeds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The contrast was fucking astounding, and I'm just like, wow.
I
When we went
can't make it. I
to see
can't make it.
Skindred, within 5 minutes of them starting, a guy had his shirt off and was the wettest I've ever been. How was he so wet so early on? They hadn't started yet.
He's just perma sweat.
There was one guy.
excitement,
There was
yeah.
one white guy with dreadlocks, cultural appropriation, and his dreads stank, man. And he was moshing, and they were going everywhere. And I got a dread to the face. And that's one instance where I was like, oh man, this fucking reeks, bro.
Well, can you imagine his hair wash night? You know, shampoo night.
Oh,
Yeah.
bro.
That's going to be a task and a half.
it's
That's going to be a task and a half.
Why do I people
once
want
every
dreads?
2 years, more like.
Yeah.
Christ.
Anyway. I don't know why that was
Yeah, where did we
big
go?
ass tangent.
We went to rap cooperation.
Oh, that's
to
where I was going.
net.
Alright, so the and pessimist never struck my nerve. To back that up again, one of the last. Is it one of the last? No, it's just further on.
Truth and the prophets say.
No, it's a yoga on a Monday, stretching to Nirvana. I like the, again, Nirvana reference. Watching all the snakes, curving all the fakes. Again, promoting good mentality, don't let people get you down, and just fuck all the fakery
down here.
in line. Sorry, it's
Where are we
down
looking
here.
at? Oh, towards the end.
Not towards the end, it's like, I think you've got knock at the paragraphs. There it is.
Oh, yeah.
So I like the fact, and pessimist never struck my nerve, good mentality.
Yeah.
And then watching all the snakes, curving all the fakes. Take all these fake bullshit out of your life in terms of people.
Yeah.
And I like that. I like when people promote that good, positive vibe and positive way of looking at life and attacking life. I love that shit.
Yeah, this is the part of the song, obviously, which changes the tune completely. It's a completely different flow and everything. It's very aggressive and very in your face and very much like I will do what I want because of despite you, essentially. Very much like you say in the vein of if you're not supporting me, then I'm going to do my own thing.
Yeah.
No, I do like that. Don't let the naysayers get you down because when I came out of employment and became a DJ.
I'm sure
People
you're
people were saying, "Oh, you're never going to succeed." I had that for over a year.
Every relative called you a wizard for like 3 years.
A wizard.
Now look at his beard.
Yeah, look at the wise one now. But the funny thing is, now they're coming up to me and sort of saying, "Oh, that's really good what you've done. Can you help me?"
Yeah.
So yes,
Why you're a
you
life
gotta
coach.
stick to stick to your guns.
I got a compliment today. Someone messaged me saying, because I've been talking to someone and
Yeah.
giving them advice and whatnot, and they said you should be a life coach. And I was like,
Hey, one day ever, yes, it'll happen.
I don't want to be a life coach.
Okay.
Fuck that. That's your thing, bro. I'd help out my mates. Anyway.
All right.
That's
We missed a verse out. There's
Do
an
you want the
interesting
Matrix
thing.
bit?
It's more than Matrix, but
Hang on, because you've gone right down to yoga, haven't you?
yeah. So we were at.
I did like this.
Okay, go on.
Yeah.
So he goes, I got loyalty, got royalty inside my DNA.
Loyalty.
And then in brackets, if Dimitri wants to do his
yeah.
parenthesis voice.
It's the nasal one, isn't it?
This is.
Is
the-
it? Hello,
This is the
sir.
news. This is actually the newsreader.
This
Yeah.
is why I say
Yeah, I think
that
that's what I
hip-hop
can't remember.
has
Oh,
done
yeah,
more
so
damage to
it's
young
not something that
African-Americans
Kendrick
than
is
racism in
endorsing.
years.
No,
It's something that this is how society is viewing.
This is an excerpt.
hip-hop.
This is an excerpt from Fox News, i.e., The Enemy.
Yes.
Sorry.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Have you seen? You haven't seen the music video.
Yes.
With,
Yeah.
with,
Yeah, that's-
with Don Cheadle.
Oh,
Oh, shit.
I can't remember who it was.
I got that?
but
Yeah, okay,
I
next
thought
song.
was that from the TV or was that sort of a line from Kendrick?
No, that
I
was
thought
from
it was
Fox
from the
News.
TV.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Has hip hop done some damage to the youth and their psyche?
I think it's a contributing factor, like a lot of things in this
Yeah,
world. to
a
be
lot of
fair.
things is back and forth with any music. You're always going to get certain people who receive it contradictory to how the artist would have wanted. Like Kendrick wouldn't put this music out if he wanted them to do the shit that he'd seen or things that he'd been around.
But it's
Again, he's a good kid, grew up in the Mad City. He avoided that, and he's putting out his music, showing his experience for the people in there. Like, get out, I did it, blah. But you're gonna get people like, that sounds like some cool shit.
Yeah, but he's also putting into the limelight the negative connotations from the media, for example, like you say, that kind of like message and that narrative that gets put out there. It's the exact same that Marilyn Manson got from like, oh, all of these kids that listen to Marilyn Manson, they must be responsible for Columbine, or for example, video games and the apparent violence that must come from that.
No
because
direct
of them.
link.
There's no direct link. There's no correlation. It's a narrative that you're trying to push.
Video games, it's got far.
Stupid old people.
Stupid Fox News.
But yeah, even when we think about Linkin Park and how at first we loved the lyrics, but then when we actually read into it, it's like, that's some really dark shit.
Yeah.
That's some really we didn't realize it.
Yeah.
But I imagine to someone who really looked into it or someone who had those tendencies already, it would probably promote their darker, more aggressive side. But that's not what Chester wanted. That's not what any of the band members wanted. And with hip hop, because the black community is overly oppressed in those situations, not just the communities they grow up in, but the mentality of it. There are years and years of that brainwashing that they have to deal with.
Yeah.
So when someone's like, all right, this is the truth, and even when we go to like the Rodney King shit, it's like people didn't believe it before, but in rap you hear it, it's a truth, and it's just like, oh, it's promoting it. No, it's literally saying what we've been through. Listen, and yeah.
You know how I compare Linkin Park with like the sadness and the depressing lyrics that they do have a lot of the time, but you always have that uplifting feeling.
It's always a
This is the first rapper we've done, I think, that has something akin to that, where like, you know, the beats and whatever, the way he structured his songs and the sort of the way the lyrics are structured, that like the first half is of a certain way and the second half is the complete polar opposite in a lot of senses. I think this is the closest we've come rap wise to sort of that always having an underlying layer of hope, potentially. So yeah, I've got to give Kendrick props for that.
Yeah, no, this is
he's
like I say, good and refreshing stuff. Yeah.
Okay, moving on to is there anything more on this? Oh yeah, so this I just wanted to talk to you about. Sentence on the way, killings on the way, motherfucker, I got winners on the way. You ain't shit without a body on your belt.
Hang on, where are we now?
Where was that, sorry?
Alright, okay.
Those
You're
three
going on
lines
this. Yeah, okay. We've done these stretching.
So you ain't shit without a body on your belt. Is that?
Yeah, that
is
was
that
a disturbing
killing
line.
someone?
Yeah.
Maybe, or like, probably killing someone. Or a weapon or some shit. I think it is.
A body on the belt, though, is definitely a notch on the
Hang on,
belt.
where's the-
Yeah,
So-
it's either fucking or killing.
No.
It's not anything that's like very PG for the kids.
Could it be a gun?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean those last two,
yeah.
last two verses, you know, phone never on. I don't conversate. I don't compromise. I just penetrate. Now, for Stuart, that could be when he says penetrate, he could be getting deeper into the meaning of life or something.
And like you say, it can be double. It can mean multiple things, but I think in this regard, because he backs it up with sex, money, murder, right next to it, it's
About that
He's trying to
episode?
penetrate the library to get more knowledge.
There you go, getting them books.
Gotta penetrate those books, am I right?
So sex, money, murder. These are the breaks. So are those perks?
No, it's just
These
sort
are
of
the
like
breaks.
it's the what it comes with the game essentially.
This is what you get.
Where's the
But
breaks from
murder
life?
and constant threat is what you kind of leave with. Bro.
Comes with the territory.
Yeah.
Weird.
But he's
Sex,
been
money, murder.
fairly out of it, to be fair. Cool.
Yeah, so
These are the times.
Sentence on the way, killings on the way.
this is the part I mentioned.
It's
Sentence
also,
on the way.
it's also not necessarily him doing said killings.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say then. It might not be from his perspective, but it's again...
out to the community, the rap community specifically.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I
But
just didn't like
you ain't
it.
shit without a body on your belt.
I just thought this...
You ain't shit without a ticket.
Compared to the rest of it, I was like, yeah, fucking great mentality.
Yeah.
I'm just like, again, this takes me out of that positive moment.
No, I feel you. If you listen to the actual song with the beat and everything in it, it's a completely different vibe. It's very much rap as rap is meant to be. It's thug, it's street.
Guttural, yeah.
Yeah, it's very... Yeah. It's
Again-
not my favourite song of his.
No. But it also
It's
it's
catchy itself. It's catchy
impactful. That's for sure. You can't not listen to it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
It's
very
there. It's
catchy.
in your face.
But again, despite the
it's a bit of
catchiness,
a
it's
shame
still
that,
a shame.
a couple
Yeah,
of
yeah.
verses.
It is kind of a callback basically to like the old sort of like 80s stuff, like your Public Enemy and your NWA, where it's just very much like you say, it's in your face, and whatever I say, you will hear it regardless of what you agree or disagree with.
Culture changed though, and I just don't
Has
think...
it though? It's just evolved.
Maybe. I don't know, but in any
Evolved.
case...
Like there's shootings and killings literally. There's like more gang violence than there's ever been.
I meant more in the
I
sense
would
that
think
I thought that we'd have reached a point now where it would be more overwhelmingly positive despite the crap that's going on, as opposed to just having to, I don't know, just again
You're an optimist.
resort to this language. Yeah, in a way, because I think language is important, and this still, it just counteracts the good work he's doing in the middle part of the song.
Because I think
This
it's
is-
been
this-
done for so long now.
This was also
Let's
2014 as well.
progress on. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of years that have passed. I will say the DNA is what's the album called? Damn, isn't it?
Yes, this is...
Yeah. Damn. Yeah, this would have been 2017, 2016, I think. Maybe
Alright.
2015 even.
Because time's pressing us, let's do the last song. So, Elements.
last one?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool.
New Kung Fu Kenny. Now, is this a Rush Hour 2 reference?
No, that's one of his monikers.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. I was like, really, because I realised Don Cheadle was Kenny in Rush Hour 2. I didn't know that until very recently. I was like, what? That man's had a career.
Yeah,
that man has been in
he's
everything. I went through like a massive heist phase after our D&D session.
Nice.
Oh, in preparation for our D&D session, I watched all the Ocean's films again. Didn't know that was Don Cheadle in that either. Like, Don Cheadle has lived. Yeah, we'll finish it.
No.
No.
We don't.
I don't even know
That's like Iron Man of like, we'll let you go after you've like made these rockets first. Like, no, he won't. No, he won't. Anyway, so
Ain't nobody
right.
praying for me.
Where to go from here? I think we should go from
Oh no.
Just from the beginning.
Stays on Earth.
I'm willing to die for this shit.
That's what I've got underlined. I'm trying to figure out my notes. How'd you go? Well, I
What's
figured
this
this out.
one? What happens on Earth stays on Earth.
It's literally just that's like the intro. That Kendrick is not saying that. That's like sort of like the album thing.
Yeah, those really silent somber moments where it's just like life is like an abyss sort of shit. That's him. I think was it on this? He was standing on top of a lamppost or something before. he was
Yeah,
shot.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's just at the top of a lamppost chilling, and then a police officer comes from nowhere, just shoots him. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
This is while he was doing all that talking about ain't nobody praying for me. But
Yeah, a lot of his music videos are very artistic.
Yeah.
I must admit. Yeah.
Okay, that's about what I want to talk about. So it's so ain't nobody praying for me. I'm on your head. 30 millions later now. Know the feds watching. Auntie on my telegram like be cautious. I be hanging out at Thames. I be on Stockholm. I don't do it for the gram. I do it for Compton. I'm willing to die for this shit N-word. I'll take your effing life for that shit N-word. So it's great stuff up until, so I don't do it for the gram, I do it for Compton. Up until that line, that was a perfect verse. And then, I'm willing to die for this shit N-word, then I'll take your effing life for this shit N-word. I'm just like, wow.
Again, it's you're thinking it as a very literal sense of like I'm just going to murder you.
It's there, man.
Again,
It's pretty indefensible, that
He
line,
also
bro.
says might take, as in that's how literal he's going with it. I might kill you. I might do it. I don't know.
It just depends.
Was it two-faced?
I've had a bad day.
That is funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also he literally the next line is put the Bible down and go eye for an eye for this shit. It's literally referencing scripture.
Yeah.
Like I've done cried for this shit. Might take a life for this shit. Put the Bible down and go eye for an eye for that shit. It's literally talking about like vengeance. Essentially, you've done me wrong. I have to retaliate.
You kill me, I'll kill you.
Yeah, that's literally what gang violence stems from. It
But he was
literally
talking
becomes
about forgiveness earlier.
And
Yeah,
like doing
it's
it, like
also
don't do it for social media and shit like that. It was all going so well until
that's the duality of it all,
yeah,
isn't
do
it?
it for
It's
the gram.
Don't
that's
do it for
it.
the gram.
It is the duality of it all. It's like, okay, you want to be an individual, you want to be like your own person, you want to like maintain a positive image, but at the same time, the weight of societal pressures essentially forces you into this world where it's like, oh, hang on, he said such and such about me. Fucking let me do something about it.
Yeah, but
it's
like-
messed up, but that's essentially how it is.
Nah, bro. I think that like if someone says something, like say me for example, if someone said some shit about me and I'm gonna be, even if I wasn't that level of fame, I'd be like, I don't give a fuck.
But you're also not a gangbanger from South Central.
Nah,
Yeah, this is
no, but again, this is the idea stuff because this
Yeah.
again I just think is just
We're assuming
maybe
this
because
is
it's so alien to me.
Kendrick. It's
Yeah,
not
you're
necessarily
right.
You
Kendrick.
could take the Martin Luther King approach
Yeah.
and be more diplomatic.
Can we go to the next line?
Yeah.
Oh, towards the end,
wait,
Martin
wait.
Luther King was pissed. He took a lot of the things back of what he said about being moderate and peaceful. Literally read the final months of Martin's life. He was like, fuck these white people.
You got angry.
Anyway,
it's true.
The very next line of the next verse is, if I gotta slap a pussy ass N-word, I'ma make it look sexy.
Oh, have you not seen the memes?
Oh,
Have you not seen the memes?
yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing. It's great.
Sorry, it's a soft one.
And the way he
Wow.
sings it.
Yeah.
But this is lyrical analysis, guys. It's lyrical analysis.
I
mean,
I don't know, man.
We have jumped a lot in terms of
Make it look sexy.
versing. Yeah,
Yeah, so
there you
what-
go. He knows.
Wait, so why is that? Why have you got hyped then? So I was looking at the.
Because the actual Sagas is great. He does it so smooth and it's just yeah.
But look at the language.
Yeah, terrible.
Yeah, I'm listening to the language. It sounds great.
Agreed.
Alright,
Guys, we gotta wrap up, man. It's 2 hours in.
Okay.
yeah,
So,
that's
I
fine.
think we should go straight to scores now, if that's okay.
Scores, you want to skip the final song?
Well, we've kind of done most of it.
Hey,
There's
I
not
mean,
much.
we did
That's
like
it. We're done.
two of the. Well, I'm not even sure. We got different ones, haven't we?
Yeah.
Element.
Yeah, Element.
Finalist was it.
Do you want to do? Was there anything more you want to say?
I don't know. I feel like we kind of skipped a bit. So
The only bit that I've underlined after this is "Fake my death, go to Cuba." That's the only option. I thought that was an interesting line, but
okay, but only talking about
Take my dad,
the.
go
Well, we
to
took two
USA,
parts and
yeah,
we're like it's
go
super
on, go on,
negative.
make your point. Sorry.
But no, so I've been sometime in front of my mum and my daddy's commissary made it to the comments. Bitch, when my grandma's dead, so ain't nobody praying for me. I'm on my head.
Hey.
Yeah, 30 million later. Knows
Know
the feds watching.
and he on the telegram like be cautious.
We mentioned
I
that
be
bit.
at the Thames, I be on Stockton. I do it for the gram, I do it for Compton.
Yeah, we talked about that. I talked about that.
I know, it's the chorus, isn't it? just going over it. I mean, he's literally painting a picture of what is going on for him mentally, and it's like he has nothing left to lose.
Yeah, that was a good bit.
Even though he's made so much in his life, there's still so much against him, and he's feeling that.
Oh,
but
period.
again, it's weird. I'm wondering whether or not he's talking from his perspective or from the perspective of someone who's still in this sort of mentality.
Or just societal, just generally.
I don't even know if it's societal, but it seems very much like in all of these albums, he's going to be honest with it. So he'll give a perspective of everything's positive, but at the same time, there are these moments where I'm in my element, I'm facing all this oppression, but I'm still fighting, I'm still doing good. And I'm still aggressive. Just because I'm up here doesn't mean I am not about it. I will still go at you.
This bit as well, you were mentioning obviously Control. It literally references that where it says Mr. 1 through 5, meaning he's literally the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth best rapper on the planet. You better know about that. Mr. 1 through 5, that's the only logic. Fake my death, go to Cuba, that's the only option. Like you said.
I'm gonna make it look sexy.
And he makes it look sexy.
Yes.
Who doesn't want to look sexy?
When you slap someone, punching someone is hot.
Punching someone
Slapping
looking hot.
someone is not. But if I'm gonna slap you, I'll make it look sexy.
Only Anthony Joshua can punch somebody
Yeah.
and make it look sexy, okay? And Kendrick, apparently.
Alright, I think we go straight to scoring then.
Sure.
That's cool.
While you're all thinking of scores, I'm going to tell a little story of
Oh,
mine.
shit.
When Damn came out, Kendrick released the picture of the album cover, and it was the Damn album cover, but it was blue instead of the red that it was released as. And I remember my friend Jay, or to your Australian viewers, Jay, he said to me, he had a Illuminati-style conspiracy theory, and he was like, this album isn't even the real album. And it was around about Easter time it was released.
Yeah.
And so he thought that this was going to get released. Then 2 days later, Kendrick was going to release another album with the blue cover.
Interesting. He did have the Untitled album, where literally none of the songs had like any song titles. They were just like things that he produced in the studio randomly. I don't know if that was before or after Damn. I think it was before.
Yeah. He also had a theory that because I can't remember which song it is on Damn, but in one of them there's a gunshot, and he was like, oh yeah, Kendrick dies in this one, and then he's going to get reborn in the next album.
Is it the by the time you hear the next pop? Oh no, that's the Pippa Butterfly.
I remember that. But
Isn't it the start? He's talking to a woman and like about something, and then she turns on him and shoots him.
something like that.
I can't remember.
Doesn't ring a bell now.
It's really
Anyway,
good.
scores.
I just want to say one last thing about Element. Towards the end, the final verse, he was talking about just say my name and I promise that you'll see the Candyman because it's all in your eyes. Most of y'all tell lies. Most of y'all don't fade. Most of y'all's been advised. Last LP, I tried to lift black artists, but there's a difference between black artists and whack artists. And
Good bar.
Yeah, he's talking about the fact that he wants to raise his people up, but at the same time, not everyone that's black and rapping should be a part of my work. And it's why he does a lot of his albums.
I also like when rhymes happen.
He keeps his close.
I like
when rhymes happen before the end of a sentence.
Yeah.
Right, so
Fair enough.
I want to point that out. I like the variety.
Yeah.
Alright, so normally I go for, I think, Stuart, you're first.
I mean, do we need to? He's probably my favourite artist.
Is it our first?
It's a 10 for me, but I don't get me wrong. I don't think that all of his lyrics necessarily are to be promoted. Like you say, he is from a world that I can't relate to. I simply can't. But at the same time, I think it's a testament to him as an artist and as, like I say, a poet. Essentially, he's basically the rap version of a poet that I can still relate to him and I can understand everything that he's going through via his words. And while I might not necessarily agree with all of his stances and like how he deals with certain things, the whole eye for an eye thing, I'm not that way inclined myself, but I can understand his element, I can understand his perspective from it. So yeah, for me, he's a 10 out of 10 based on his lyricism, because I love a double entendre, I love his flows, I love that he can mix it up and literally have 3 different songs in one song, and he does it multiple times, album after album. He's literally had 5 straight albums where I can listen to them all the way through. That's my stance.
Very good.
Yep.
Father.
Interesting.
I know that you're not a rap fan, but if it's lower than a 3, I'm pissed.
Okay, right.
I think 5.
No priming. Hey, look, no priming. So, I thought he had some interesting topics. So the slavery, the DNA, the black rights activists, I thought all those were really good. But I just thought it was a shame that he didn't really develop the themes in the song. And it sort of he mixed up the kind of violence, ego, gunman lyrics.
We don't always
and
have
stuff.
18 minutes like Iron Maiden.
I was just thinking,
Some of these are going to go on the radio.
just imagine if Maiden did a song about slavery. What a voyage that would be. So I'm just thinking it was a bit of a loss of potential that he could have done, a lot more with the subject material. And I'm really glad that he's, as a rapper, he's actually picked some interesting themes,
Right.
like slavery, DNA, and black rights, which I think some of the others haven't really gone into that. And I felt a little bit of a contradiction because he is a born-again Christian, and he was actually baptized during a live performance in 2013. He dressed up as Jesus for Halloween. I don't know, a bit strange. But I think
a zombie.
he's kind of Christian principles like the Ten Commandments, very contradictory to the kind of violent lyrics and the swear words and using things like thug life and whatever. And contradicting the kind of the three I's of high power, heart, respect, honour. So I just thought it's a real contradiction of principles and
You can
values.
still have respect and honour in, say, for example, war. I'm just saying, like, that you can still have those. That you can still have heart, respect, and honor, even in like negative things, like war, for example. There's an honor in terms of like taking prisoners, for example. Like I'm just saying, there's a way for you to
Taking
flip it,
prisoners.
essentially.
Taking prisoners
Yeah.
down a bit.
Yeah, that's the one. That's one.
I was like, what?
You could take no prisoners, or you could take some prisoners.
What you're saying is
Once you got a code.
there's
I stick by the code.
I know, because
There's all the guidelines out here.
it's like the mafia, gangland culture. They've
Yes.
all got a code,
That's
haven't
it.
they?
There's
Strict
code of
code.
conduct. There's respect.
So
there's
there's
things you
honor
do and
amongst.
don't
Is
do.
there honor amongst thieves?
Essentially, yeah.
So
Who wrote the rules on that? You know what I mean?
The code.
so yeah, I thought
The art of war.
I thought it was good, and I think some of your explanations have been good, guys. And I think he's definitely the best rapper we've done. So from a scoring point of view,
Don't forget about the song I.
the what?
The song I.
Oh yes, well remembered, Ryan. So very uplifting there. So yeah, the highest one I've given is 2 out of 10 of the rappers.
What?
Oh no! Before, yeah, I thought I was
Have you guys noted down?
I was
Yeah,
about
that's a
to
little
the
dicky.
table.
No, not for Kendrick. I thought ever. I'm sure like you give it higher.
Yeah,
So I don't think it's as good as Linkin Park's
Okay.
stuff. So yeah, I think you're right, Emma. I think a 5 is fair.
I would accept that based on the fact that you literally don't like rap or hip hop. So the fact that you've literally gone to the medium, I feel like I've brought you at least to the middle of the show.
No,
So
I think
will
You
take
literally got
that.
into the
That's a
middle,
moral
yeah.
victory.
Like
for
I
me. I'll
said,
take that.
a lot
I will
of
take
refreshing stuff, and like I said, if he would have developed the themes more and not gone into this "I'm better than you, I'll kill you" ego kind of thing, then I think it would have been a bit of a higher score. I think it's real shames. So it's good to see he's got a couple of songs like I and stuff. Yeah.
Well, that's good to hear, and I will say I respect that you have at least given it a chance to the point where you at least say it's 5 out of 10. It's middle of the road for me.
Yeah.
Would you be willing to listen to more of his stuff?
Having listened to the videos and stuff, for me, unless there's big guitars and solos and the things, I find it hard to listen to.
It's just not your cup of tea.
Yeah, the whole rap thing, the flow, the beat. I know you guys love it, and that's fine. And I could appreciate you wouldn't like the 18-minute twin guitar solo voyages
The
of
Lord of the
Maiden
Rings of
necessarily.
songs, yeah.
So it's a kind of a taste thing, really, isn't it?
Do you know what I'm interested in seeing though? Do you know Akala's first Fire in the Booth? I'd like to see Dad have a look at that, and the second one, because the first one's I think 9 minutes long, but the second one is like 15 minutes long, and it's very much an Iron Maiden length.
Oh, right, yeah.
Rap material, and it's Akala's probably one of my favourite UK rappers, and he's got the most depth of any rapper that I think I've ever seen.
Well, he's literally
Have you not
walking
covered him?
woke person
Yeah.
in the UK. isn't he?
Yeah.
Have you not covered him?
No?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
Because his singles aren't, I think his freestyles are more
Yeah.
deep than his
No, of course.
Why did you say deep?
Oh.
So I was going to say it's good to get an insight into this Compton world, which I haven't really got a
it's an
clue
alien
what it's
world.
like to be in the thick of it.
Yeah.
So it's good to get a view into a different world.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you've if you gave it a 2, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hey, no, it's nowhere in the class of Little Dicky, and maybe I'm becoming desensitized to all the hoes and the bees and the whatever.
I know, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We love you, Little Dicky, but no.
Even Little Dicky's like,
Yeah, even Little Dicky's like, are you mental?
Yeah.
But no, that's fine. It's not. If it's not your cup of tea, it isn't your cup of tea.
It's 5 times better than Drake.
I know. Apparently,
Almost.
Wait, you did?
Yeah.
Oh shit, you got
Almost half as good as Iron Maiden.
Wow.
Yeah, like I said, I've become desensitized. I think if we did Drake and Little Dicky again, they'd probably get a higher score now.
No, they wouldn't.
No, I don't
probably
think
not.
so.
No.
We hammered
Yeah,
Drake.
you did. You did.
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Badly.
I was like,
Drake.
what's so dangerous about Canada?
Oh, that's true.
I've
that's
been
true.
to Toronto and it's lovely. Alright, cool. That's great, Dad. Dimitri.
Good. I'm glad you're happy with 5's shirt.
I'll take that. Moral
All right.
Kendrick's not happy with.
Go on, Dimitri.
Yeah. I mean, it's Kendrick. And wait, so the camera's not rolling? Right?
No, it's not got. Yeah. It's
Okay,
decent.
so to the audience, sorry you can't see us. We have now taken off our tops and are just wearing the Christmas hats. It's very it's a sexy affair.
I've added a bow tie.
Yeah, it's really hot in here. It's great. Fat vaginas. But yeah. Kendrick.
Get that tattoo.
Yeah, it's great. Nah, Kendrick is the shit. Like, we've gone over it, and I don't know. Coming into this, I knew Kendrick's work is the best. Ammo and you know what, the Metal Elder aren't rap and hip hop fans because of the themes within it. And I've
Still a grime fan. to
yeah,
be
of
fair.
course. And I felt that coming in as a resident black person, I would have to do a bit more explanation and defending of the culture. But at the same time, I can't relate to everything within Kendrick's lyrics either because it's not my experience. However, High Power and all of the songs from Good Kid, Mad City, aka Swimming Pools and Sing About Me, the ones we've covered, they really do encapsulate what Kendrick is about. The themes we've covered, so Metal Elder, you were talking about how he's talking about slavery, civil rights, and DNA. That isn't really covered much in the rap community.
Yeah.
Disagree. Covered in every album most rappers do. The fact is they don't do it like Kendrick does. And Kendrick is
different.
he is a master of his craft, you know? Rap is literally rhythm and poetry. And we say, oh, rappers are giving diss tracks and whatnot. Look at Wordsworth or look at Lord Byron. They're old poems well back a day. If they reference another poet, like, oh, an allusion to the tiger in the night, you're thinking, oh, they're bigging them up. No, they're actually calling each other out. But back a day, you wouldn't assume that because they're British gentlemen. It's like, no.
No, he's calling me out.
Actually on it. And that's what I love about poetry. It's why I love studying it at school to an extent. It was very frustrating trying to break it all down. But with Kendrick, he gives you a little vision into what he's about, what his world is
I'll
about.
show him. No. Let me get my quill. Yeah, sorry.
The pen is mightier than the sword.
It is brilliant. And you know that we're getting bare hoes back then or whatever they called them, wenches? Wenches. But no, in terms of
Harlots.
scamps,
Hussey's a good one.
sluts.
I think Hussey's too modern though. It's
Yeah.
50s.
Harlots. Definitely harlots.
Yeah, we'll go for harlots. Or they would have went harlots.
Yeah, they did.
But no, Kendrick really, when we talk about the language he used and maybe might have been appropriate later on down the line, I disagree because the language itself, we can see from everything he's written and everything he's sung, he's actually thought about it very carefully, how it all fits in, the themes he's brought in, how it works, and he knows his target audience. Despite how big he gets, he doesn't forget where he came from and what it's about. When he says, I will murder these N-words, he's talking about the fact that this is as serious to him as it was when he was younger. Like the whole gang violence, the fear, the intensity, it's still this intense, just in a different genre, a different area, a different part of his life, because he's still supporting himself, his family, and he's trying to live up to the legacy that is Tupac. And even Malcolm X, he said he's put hex on him. He's a conscious black man in America trying to preach the truth, preach his experience, and make a difference. There's a lot of pressure, and he's going to be brutally honest, even if we don't want to hear it. Overall, the music is...
Fat vaginas.
Yeah, fat vaginas. You gotta
vaginas,
fuck
yeah.
those fat vaginas.
That's
That's Kendrick's words. But no, I love it all. Kendrick is a 10 regardless. I mean, DNA is not one of my favorite songs, and I think when it came to a bit more of To Pimp a Butterfly, a lot of people said it was a bit too conscious, not as hood as they wanted for Kendrick. And we see for Damn how he kind of balances it out back again, you know? All his albums are amazing. It's just a 10 overall.
Right.
I'm gonna drank. Give him a 9. Drank.
Do you do an explanation? Are you good
I was
there?
gonna do the whole thing, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna get really tired doing that.
No.
I I like the imagery that he puts in his songs. I like the flow of his songs. But he doesn't have one line that I would give to a 10.
Fair enough.
No one liner that's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'll slap him and make it look sexy. That's not.
Life ain't shit but a fat vagina.
Oh, fat vagina's our thing now.
Oh, I want this podcast
The fat vagina.
The legend of the fat vagina.
That's the one thing we're going to remember from this.
I was going to say pull up that as an image, but you can't do that.
No.
Not with YouTube nowadays.
No, we don't.
No, demonetized.
Ammo, no.
Okay. Yes, Ryan.
Face. Yeah, he would need to have. Something more.
A killer bar.
Yeah. So, do you want an example?
Go on.
Okay, Childish Gambino.
Mm-hmm.
Take the G out your waffle, all you got left is your ego. So many levels.
There is quite a fucking low shit. Alright, cool. No, I get you.
But that's very like punchline rappy there, and I love that.
Yeah.
I love that style of rap as well. I love Childish Gambino, but yeah, Kendrick isn't so much the.
That is genius.
I've already given it a 9,
I'm sorry,
Stuart. This isn't a debate anymore.
That ego line is staying with me. That's brilliant. That's so good.
Yeah.
Well, I think. So I've said, you guys know that I'm more of a UK rap guy as opposed to US rap guy.
Yep.
I've not really liked many contemporary US rappers at all for the reasons I've stated on numerous other podcasts. But this is a breath of fresh air, I'll have to say. He is amazing. Kendrick is genuinely brilliant. I think a lot of his wordplay, his deep, meaningful lyrics, his subject matters, a lot of it is promoting a very positive attitude towards life and living, as opposed to the negativity that you get bombarded with, or that seems to have infected especially our generation. I like that a lot. And yet it's the first rapper since Ice Cube that I really, really do think has a lot of legs, and I can see why he is as followed and is as successful as he is. So
It's a good comparison.
I like this a lot. There is still some, like, throughout the analysis you've seen, Dad and I have had issues with certain lines that I picked out here and there. Overall, it's very good, but the number of lines that I had issue with, that again was using language that I don't think is positive for someone who is so articulate, that has to keep reverting back to the old style just because it's for, he wants to keep his old mentality or for his old fans. I just don't agree with that rationale. So overall, I think I'm going to give him an 8.
Okay.
Which
Yeah,
I think
that's good.
it's so big.
With Kendrick being as amazing as he is he one of the top scores so far?
Yeah, well, Iron Maiden got
yeah.
like 11 from
Yeah.
set, so we literally broke the score. So,
It was a heavy metal 11 out of 10 because you're allowed in heavy metal.
10,
8.
8,
9,
9,
5.
5. That's
It's one of the highest.
Yeah, I think
it's the
that
highest
probably is
rapper
the
by
highest.
far.
I think
Okay.
that's the highest.
considering
on average.
you've covered Drake and Kendrick, at some point you need to cover J. Cole, the three kings of the rap game.
Drake got a 1. Did he get a 1 from me?
Yeah, so
Yeah, he got one from
he's
me. He
out
got one
basically.
from
So
me.
it's basically going to be between J. Cole and
We got to do the averages for everyone.
That's the meta score at 8.4.
Alright, cool.
8.4. So
Great score. Good score,
Yeah.
Kendrick. So
You gotta get J.
well
Cole.
done, man. So we'll do J. Cole at some point, I'm
You're
sure,
doing
in the
it,
future.
Kendrick.
Yeah, that's it, guys. I
Cool.
think I wish all listeners a very Merry Christmas. And until next time, when it comes to lyrics,
Drank.
look beyond the surface.
And make it look sexy
Yes, don't
with a
forget.
fat vagina.
Well done, guys. That's good.
Hey, babes.
Hey!